Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here now, Scout with POPXP, with the man, the myth, the legend, the teen sensation. He's never going to age. He ain't going anywhere, Mr. Billy Tucci.
What's up, brother? I love the crowdfunding comics.
Dude, I brought it in. You know, I'm like, we got to keep it, you know? I thought about it the other day. I'm like, we're bringing it back. It's coming in because we're still at heart, bro. We're crowdfunding comics. When we're talking crowdfunding comics, we got to get that energy, that ba-dum.
Yeah, bro, nice.
I'm telling you. So tonight's a great night. We're doing something a little different. We got a great friend of yours who's now become a great friend of mine and a great friend of the show.
Yep.
We have Mr. Paul Jenkins tonight, who's accompanied by one of the team fairies, Carrie Ann, and we're here for the launch party of Fairy Quest number 3. So without further ado, bro, let's get this party started because I'm thirsty. Right. So let's welcome Paul Jenkins and Carrie Ann to the show. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah, we're doing great. I feel like my hair just got blown back by your intro. What was that all about? That was great.
That's the crowdfunding comics intro, man.
I'm in awe, man. I need one of those intros so like everybody gets all hyped up. You know, hopefully the crowd are going nuts right now. It's great.
Play it every morning when you get out of bed and you're like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then I'm doing like jump kicks and air punches, and then I just look out my big picture window, and my neighbors get to see it all. But hey, it's what keeps the blood flowing.
Keeps it flowing.
So we brought our team fairy, Carrie Ann. There she is over there. I think.
Hello, Carrie Ann. Good to meet you.
Hello.
Carrie Ann has been doing fairy stuff forever. She actually does all those fairy cons and all kinds of stuff. And I figured, well, we need a team fairy because of Fairy Quest. So we have wings and all. Actually, in her natural form tonight. This is actually how she really looks. This is her. She hasn't folded her wings back and put them under her clothing, so she's incognito. You know,
it's uncomfortable to keep them folded up all the time.
That'd be amazing if you just saw her like
you gotta let them
fly right off. Like what?
Free them up. Yeah, I bought my wife a pair of wings, fairy wings too, and then I bought her those cool. It's like jewelry that goes on your ear.
Yeah.
And they're pointy though.
Yep, I have some.
Yeah, I love them. I think she looks great when she wears them. She looks cute. So she wears them out. We go out and stuff.
Is that like, then you dress up like Peter Pan?
Yeah, maybe I do. Maybe I got tights. Maybe.
Listen,
I could pull that off. I'm the teen sensation, bro.
That's true. That's true, man.
Oh, if anybody can pull it off, it's me.
I told Carrie Ann that if she's got her wings showing, that everybody's going to go, oh look, they bought a Victoria's Secret model on, and the nerds will go wild. So,
behave. Carrie Ann.
So Paul, I think we also just have a quick toast.
Okay.
To you, your team, launching Fairy Quest on Kickstarter and breaking the 10K in just a few hours. Congratulations to many more, my friend.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. We're doing great with the Kickstarter.
Yes.
And I'm getting snookered on peppermint schnapps tonight. Why not?
You know what? It's going to be a long haul. So you might as well enjoy it tonight. Hello, Sarah. Good to see you. And we have Charlie's London. She's another South Londoner.
Yep.
So Paul, do you hail from South London?
So half of my family are from South London. They're from like Tooting and Mitcham and Streatham and West Norwood. The other half of my family are all from Wales. So I can't make my mind up, man. Like, I'm half Welsh and half South Londoner. So it's shocking.
So how do you feel about North London and Arsenal?
I like North London fine. It depends where you are. Like, so I'm cool with that. Arsenal. I know you're an Arsenal guy. Arsenal Football Club, quite like him. Romford, on the other hand, Romford in North London is the worst place. I lived there for a year and I literally could not run away quickly enough. It's like the worst. It's hell on earth. It's literally, you know, in the Ukraine, they've got that volcano that opens up in the ground. It's a giant like flame pit. That's Romford in North London. We're making Carrie Ann feel bad because she's a fairy, so we're killing her right now.
I'm totally fine.
About Romford.
She's got her magic fairy.
I'm thinking of like Cornwall and Glastonbury and all the places I want to go visit.
Not Romford. Let me help you out. Not Romford. But my mum lives in Glastonbury, so I'm sure she'll put you up for the day.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
We just were Thursday night tights, not quite as good, I remember, but still works.
There you go. So what about Wolverhampton? We don't want to go there, do we?
It's all right. It's the Midlands, man. It's like literally cold and grey. It's where they invented the color grey.
Yeah, that's where my family's from, my English side. So
There you go.
I heard it's not a great place.
Yeah, but
But it's my heritage, so I'm going to be proud.
Well, I'll tell you something about that part of the world, right? So if you know about Coventry, which is up there, and Wolverhampton, and that's the place that when the Second World War happened, Hitler, you know, after they bombed Dresden, Hitler really wanted to bomb Britain, and they knew that they were going to bomb Coventry, right? And so when they did that, Winston Churchill went to go visit Coventry the day before they're bombed, and there's very famous photos of him just feeling terrible because he knows
they bombed the shit out of Coventry.
Yeah, they bombed it. So they flattened Coventry and a lot of Wolves and a lot of the Midlands, and then they rebuilt it into this urban jungle. It's the worst. It's not the nicest place. It's all just.
Oh my God. Most of my heritage is Irish. Most of like a huge chunk of mine is from like Cork, West.
See? So she comes from like the Magic Emerald Isle, and I'm from like I'm descended from a bunch of dead Welsh coal miners, man.
And I'm a Potalian stallion, a Polish Italian, 50-50.
There you go. So
it's crazy.
We hit 10K today, which is great. So far, we've hit 10,000. The book. Well, do you want to show the thing? I mean,
yeah, let's watch. Let's check out the video.
I'm going to share it now too. Let me share it. Yeah.
Big bad wolf, and I am very, very hungry.
Hiya, Mr. Wolf.
So the big bad wolf says, I am the big bad wolf, and I am very, very hungry. Oh, hello. Claudius and I are reading his favorite book, Fairy Quest, and we are about to reprint Fairy Quest 1 and Fairy Quest 2 here on Kickstarter, where it all began. And we're also coming out with Fairy Quest 3, a brand new book. So we would love you guys to be part of our campaign. So we have planned a ton of extras and add-ons, lots of amazing swag that will add to every pledge as we're closing on our funding goals. We can't wait to bring you all kinds of exclusives and incentives that we'll announce if we're lucky enough to hit our stretch goals. And we have some special cover artists lined up. We have Ali Garza, we have Billy Tucci of Sergeant Rock fame, and we have Kevin Eastman, the co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Fairy Quest 3 is the next chapter in the Fairy Quest saga, which is set in Fablewood, a giant forest where all of the stories live together, but they're divided by genre borders. We originally published the work here in the early days of Kickstarter. And after a long hiatus, I'm really thrilled that we're going to be bringing our book back here again. I know you're going to love the new 48-page chapter with a new main cover by Humberto Ramos. And this time we're welcoming the incredible Mike Bowden, as well as our fantabulous friend, Leo Olea, who's going to be doing all of the colors and all of the design and lettering on the book. Since our first Kickstarter, Fairy Quest has been translated into a number of languages. It's been a cool statue. We've seen live action. We've had a bunch of cosplay come up as our characters. And we've even developed a live action version of it that we performed at Pinewood Studios in Atlanta. All of this comes down to the fans at Kickstarter. We can't do any of this without your help. Fairy Quest exists because of you. We're finally able to bring our beautiful back into print. Grateful that I have the opportunity to finish it here where it all began. So thanks for watching our video, and thanks so much for helping us. This is going to be, let me do that one again.
Okay. Take 10.
You're not helping.
Well, that's a great video, Paul.
Yeah, I love how, you know, so what happened in the video was that I said to, this is a bad idea. I said to my 9-year-old, come and help me shoot the video, right? And it was whack. He's doing all kinds of stuff. You know, I got like a gimbal and filmmaking stuff, and the kid's like, work for me, Dad. And I'm like, this little man, like, thanks, I appreciate the help, but it's not working. So then late at night, this is probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, my poor wife is really tired, and I'm like, babe, can you help me out? So she films it And all she does is give me crap the entire time. She just gave me crap the entire time. I'm like, every time I did something wrong, she's like, start again. And then she kept directing me from the seat. So I'm like, I'm never working with her again.
Yeah. Never say never.
Yeah, well, but we're doing well on the project. I mean, we've hit a quarter of our goal. We've hit 10,000, and it's a long road, as you guys know. Billy, I know you just did this, and everyone out there knows, but I'm hopeful that we can keep sustaining interest. And I've got a lot of really good advice. It's been a long time since I did a Kickstarter, so we're getting some really good advice from it.
How does it feel to get back in the saddle now? Like, getting back into crowdfunding?
There's a lot behind it, right? It feels great because I've never been a guy that was that comfortable being in the mainstream, right?
Mhm.
So, when I was doing big mainstream comics, I wasn't really their guy. I mean, I was in terms of making sales for them. They did fine. Thanks very much. But I'm not a mainstream standard comic guy. Billy and I have had these really long conversations about storytelling and heart and character, right?
Mhm.
And so where can you really do that if you're a self-publisher? And I love that, and I was doing it, but without necessarily getting we'll talk about it. But I think that one thing that kind of really became difficult for me was that I had two first goes around with Fairy Quest, which is such a beautiful book and everybody loves it. And we worked with people to help us do fulfillment, and both times they killed us. And that is the cautionary tale, I think, for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You got your mic off, Bill? Your mic on.
What the hell?
Bro. There he is.
Who muted? Did you mute me, Scholar?
Yeah.
Bitch,
You were shuffling during the movie,
Oh, I'm sorry, I was.
He was reaching for his popcorn, and he was trying to find his jujube there.
Guilty as charged.
I totally forgot to unmute you. I apologize.
Yeah.
I just forgot to do it, Busy.
She said drinks. I was drunk. I'm sorry.
I had my wife is nice and a whore. Sorry. No, but like you said, and here's something that, because you've experienced this, and one of the crowdfunding will carry you through every stage of emotion. You've got the fear, right? And I'd like to get into that when you first start, and you're nervous before it launches. Will it go? Once it does go, it's going to keep on going. I mean, you're having a dynamite first couple of hours. My goodness, you're already over $10,000, and that's tremendous. But then there comes the fear of when you get it out of your hands, because for the most part, being someone like yourself who has always been a creator-owned person, an indie guy, and then you brought that to Marvel, and you literally helped save the company with your storytelling, and people want good stories. It's the point. But when you did the first Fairy Quest, you weren't, like you said, you had someone else fulfilling it for you, and you let that go. How hard was it letting it go? And then there was some real, if I may reach into, because I remember when all this was happening, you kind of you've got a lesson for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think what happened was that we did the first one, and I personally was involved with someone that was relatively unscrupulous, to the point where he got sent to jail. And so what people would never have known about it was that when they came after the Kickstarter and sort of really purloined a lot of the money, they took some of what the backers had sent. I replaced it personally. So that was extremely expensive to me. And I didn't mind in the sense that, hey, those things happen. And I don't really feel like airing my dirty laundry, right? Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
We get the stuff out, we get it to the fans, I deal with it. And my poor wife had to deal with it. I always feel that, like, what I want this success to be is often for Melinda, my wife, and make sure that people recognize that effort and stuff that she put into it, and the sacrifices that she's made in her life for me to have my career. I think that's important, right? And And so we went through that first one, and it was very challenging. But I think the hardest thing that's ever happened to me in my life and in my career was really the second one, because we did the second one and we did really well, and we raised the money, for Fiction Squad. And you know, I had a publisher at the time, and I'm not really going to shy away from it. And my publisher was Boom, and they wanted to do all the fulfillment from their warehouse, and that's fine. And I sent them every single penny that I was raised and said, let's account for it. And they shit the bed on the fulfillment, and it killed me. It broke my heart, and it upset the fans. But one of the things that they had done was they had all of the fan interaction. I did not, because they asked me not to do it. They actually said, we want you to step away so that you don't confuse everything. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, right? And I guess it makes sense. And I went, okay. So I stepped away, and then halfway through the campaign, I went on the message board and I was like, people are upset. They're frustrated. What's going on? So I called them out publicly, and they wrote a public apology to all the fans. And you can see it in our campaign, right? If you actually go back to 2, they wrote this public apology and they said, we're very sorry. That would have been great if they'd have actually followed on, but they did not follow through on a couple of categories. So if you have a couple of categories in there, let's say almost everyone got their stuff. I mean, they assured me everyone got their stuff, and anyone that didn't might have got a refund, and that's great and all. But sometimes they might have, say, a signed issue or something, and they would just send someone 2 books. And that's not what the person pledged for, and that's not right.
No.
And so what happens in those cases is people see my name on the campaign and they go, he didn't do the campaign. And I'm like, man, that's a killer. That is a hard one, because I am a creator who directly interacts with fans, always does right, will face any issue head on. I faced all of those issues head on the best I could. And my understanding from them was that everybody got this stuff in the end. But, you know, if they didn't, we can always make sure that we'll try to make good by it. But I think that, you know, we've even heard recently there are a couple of people that still didn't get their stuff. So we're going to have to take care of it. And we will. But it's a great cautionary tale for people, which is, listen, if you want to do it, you're going to do it yourself. So at Meta, I've Sarah, who you see in the chat tonight, and Stogie, who's over there as well. And Stogie and I are going to do basically, we're going to do the fulfillment directly ourselves. Sarah will do it. You know, Carrie Ann will come over and be Team Fairy and like spread sparkle on us, and we're going to do it. No one else gets to touch my Kickstarter ever again. Yeah. And I tell you who I think was really cool is I was talking with Brian Pulido over the last few days, and I've known Brian for a very long time, and Brian was really cool. I said, man, I'm that moment, you know, press and go on a campaign, and he said, listen, man, this is what I know. If you're you and you're authentic, and this is what we do, you just tell them who you are and what we're doing. That when we deliver this project and people love it so much, and we bring it back on track, and we make sure everyone gets it, and that we face any issue head on, and we communicate. So Stogie and myself will really go directly in the daytimes. You know, Sarah will help us. We'll all be doing this stuff, right? And when we do it and we make it a success, people will go, yeah, man, that's the way it should be done. So that's the way our campaign is lined up. And I feel so disappointed that my reputation was potentially damaged by that bullshit. But I also feel like the part of that was my fault was that I should not have believed that someone else could do what I would do. Right. I should have done it. And so learn that lesson, never do that again.
Yeah. And the thing is that you can do it. Yep. You know, it's hard. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. But, you know, you can do it. You can fulfill it. You can, you know, either you do it in your garage, either you do it in your den, either you rent a place, you know what I mean? You do it in the backyard on a nice day. You get a couple of friends over, you know, you can do it. It's not, you get Carrie Ann to come over with her ukulele.
Yeah, she'll be doing it. So, by the way, Carrie Ann has no idea, but at the moment, Carrie Ann, you're going to be helping us stuff. But
I'm excited to do it. I love Fairy Quest. It's been, you know, when I met Paul a lot of years ago, and I think Fairy Quest was the first thing I ever saw, and I've got the first 2 issues, and I love them. And you heard me at the beginning of the video as Red, and that was
that's right. Yeah, that's Carrie Ann's voice as Red Riding Hood.
So I'm excited. Yeah, well, I can fly the books to people.
Airmail delivery.
Airdrop them, right?
Airdrop.
Fairy mail.
Fairy mail.
Now, if I may, Carrie Ann, where do you live in like an old Victorian house or a Southern mansion or something? Because it is awesome where your backdrop.
Well, I'll tell you a secret about this. Well, the official answer is, well, of course I live in a castle. I'm the fairy queen, right?
There you go.
That's the like legit answer. If you want the explanation for the muggles, I'll give it to you. I am an actress and a filmmaker, and I have a company called Fairy Path Productions, and we were shooting some little concept things for a project that we have in development, and we needed a winter castle. And we couldn't afford one or a soundstage or anything, so we built one in my apartment. What you see behind me is actually the set, and I love it, and I want to live in a castle anyway, so I just left it up. But yeah, it was myself and Russell Shealy, who's my production partner, and a bunch of other hands on deck, and we all came and built. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see, you see a little bit.
Oh yeah, everybody would want to live there. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
The walls, because it's just the magic of film. It's a corner with my fireplace and everything, and we got the lighting right and threw some fog and some snow in here, and it was pretty amazing. What you do in a corner.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Carrie Ann, because there's one thing that you're going to have to do by the time we finish, which is so Carrie Ann, like I have the best cat, right? My cat Claudius, who you saw in the video, is the funniest cat. But Carrie Ann,
I had the worst freaking cat.
Carrie Ann has the most beautiful cat I've ever seen, and his name is Rune. And everything that Rune does is like Vogue pose, right? So I told her that the difference between our cats is that her cat is like the cat of Instagram, where if you take a picture, it's like this, is like and then my cat is like the cat from the dollar like magazine that you pick up in the local gas station of all the people that just got arrested for drunk driving. That's my cat, and hers is the cat of Instagram. So
So that means I'll have to go fetch Rune at some point.
You're gonna have to go fetch Rune in a minute, just so everyone can see him. Because when you see Rune, everybody will go like, "I'm gonna give all my money to Fairy Quest."
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
If I bring Rune out, I might have to release the Kraken and let the dog out too. She might escape. That's okay.
Oh no! All right, yeah. Well, that might go mad. Yeah.
And Billy's cat just yells at him when we're doing shows.
Oh no, I love her. That's the most neediest cat in the world. That's Sophie. And then we have Surrey, and Surrey's just a shit. I just can't stand her. She hates me. I'm the only one who feeds her, it seems, and she hates me. And they're both rescues, and the one. Surrey, the one I hate, has this food. She's just addicted to food. I guess she has that phobia that she won't be able to eat, and she's fat, and it doesn't eat anything. I mean, you're sitting there eating, and she'll walk up and she'll take the food out of your hand.
Oh my gosh!
No.
I tell you what,
It's like a dog.
Yes, well, untrained dog.
I'm gonna go get him. I'll be back. Let's see.
She's gonna go get Rune. Here we go.
We got a question from Sina. So I'm going to need all the issues, Paul. Which way should I go?
Well, if you need all the issues, then either you buy the crazy packet, the big bundle. Because so we got this. Here's how we bundled it, right? I don't know if you guys can kind of scroll through it. So one of the first things was actually that knowing how COVID is, like, it's really weird, right? Because apparently Kickstarter is like shooting up through the ceiling right now, and everybody's really donating. They really want. I mean, people want to be entertained. The comic stores are not as open as they need to be. There's not as much publishing. So Kickstarter stuff is doing really well, apparently.
Okay, here we go.
But that doesn't mean to say that everybody's doing really well. Look at the state of this.
That's a big cat.
Quick, get off of that first so you can see this bloody cat. Look at the state of that.
Wait.
Aw.
Look at him.
Wow.
He's giant. I woke him up, so he's kind of got grumpy face on, but
yeah, he's not as perfect as he normally is.
That's a gorgeous cat.
He is.
Yeah, he's
He's huge.
Hi.
Or you're really tiny.
It's both. It's both. She's a little fairy.
There it is. Now he's posing.
Aw.
Looking off into the far distance,
Is Billy going to get his cat now? I don't have a cat.
Billy went off to get his cat.
It's cat.
God damn it. Here we go. Look at the state of this. Look at this.
Oh, there's Billy with his cat.
Yeah.
Let's zoom in on Billy's cat. Well, your cat looks huge too. Maybe it's just the way the cameras are.
Tiny. She's tiny, right?
Maybe you're really small then. I don't know. I don't have a cat, so maybe I'll have TJ James come on.
Rune is actually giant.
Yeah, your cat is gigantic, Carrie Ann.
Yeah, he's He's gigantic and I'm tiny, so he's like a snow leopard.
This is a first, Paul, in the Kickstarter or Indiegogo launch parties.
Oh, you gonna get your cat?
I'll go get him. Hang on, I'll go get him.
All right, you go get your cat now.
Oh, wait.
And I'm gonna finish this so this all makes more sense.
I'm trying to see how he's got his paws crossed though. He's very like
He's so calm.
I know. Look at him.
he's very majestic.
I wouldn't mess with him though.
No.
Like he looks like the king of the pride.
Yeah.
Like I would not mess with him. I would be like, here's a Snickers, in hopes that I could get by.
Oh, he's funny because he plays with he and my dog are good friends and they play together and they chase each other around and he holds his own with a 50-pound dog, and they play. Hi, Joe, being a good boy. He's like, I guess I'll sit here with you, Mom.
How old is he?
TJ.
Yeah.
Good TJ. Good TJ.
I know. Rune will be 8 years old on October 2nd.
Oh,
Like
He looks like a lynx. He does. That's right, TJ.
he's my little Damon, like in Golden Compass. You're just like
Yeah.
a little Damon. Yeah.
yeah.
He's like,
She
Mom,
just talks. She talks all the time to you, right?
Yeah, well, not yet.
Well, there
Not
you
coming in a bit, but as you know, Carrie Ann, what do you think Claudius?
Good
Carrie Ann, what do you
TJ.
think Claudius is doing right now?
I think Claudius is either looking for treats or he's laying about somewhere.
No, he's outside punching bunnies.
Damn it, Paul!
It's outside punching bunnies.
You were supposed to tell Claudius that Carrie Ann will be very disappointed in him if he continues to punch bunnies. This is not.
Melinda went to go find him. Yeah, so my cat, who is the star of the show, of course, no one really cares about me being in that video. They're like, when can the cat come back? Right. So we had him for all these takes where I try to kind of remember what I was saying, and he was perfect. And he's reading the book with me, right? And then the one time I finally got a good take, he literally scratched the crap out of my leg and jumped off backwards. And you can see it in the video. He's like, I've had enough, Dad.
Yeah.
Nice. You got 3 more backers, Paul.
Woo!
Great.
Thank you.
I will take a sip of my lavender wine every time somebody donates.
Yeah, now, Carrie Ann, you said, what is lavender wine? I never even heard of that.
It's
Sure.
lavender wine. It's purple.
Well, grapes are purple, right? So I guess it would be.
Grapes can be green, Billy.
Honestly, it's really just tastes like sugar. But it was pretty and purple, and I thought I'd see what it tasted like.
Now you're gonna drink the whole bottle, ain't you?
We're just gonna every time somebody donates money, I'll take a drink.
There you go. This is gonna get good.
There you
This is
go.
gonna get good.
I'm tipsy, so donate some money.
So Niall, play the bit with my cat if you can, mate. I want to see that. I want to see the cat like rip my leg up. Look at my poker face when he rips up my leg. No,
Yeah.
mate, it's at the top in the video.
Oh, it's in here.
Yeah, it's when he
All right,
jumps.
let's see that.
Like-
For those that are just joining, because we invited some people from Facebook are coming in.
Oh, okay, you want to show it again?
Why not?
The music is great.
We'll do it with commentary.
Yes.
It's just in the beginning, though.
And the big
So look, we did a radio drama, so we're going to actually do the book at one point with all the voiceover.
hungry.
That art's really great.
Yeah.
Hiya, Mr. Wolf.
So the big bad wolf says, I am the big bad wolf.
I can't get over that. Cat's like, no, thank you.
F you.
Cat's like, God, look where he's got his claws. Like,
Ah!
And we are about to reprint Fairy Quest 1 and Fairy Quest 2 here on Kickstarter, where it all began.
I love your Mr. Rogers
Fairy
routine,
Quest
Paul.
3
That's
is
right.
the book.
Look at Totoro in the background.
Part of our campaign. So we have planned an add-on
That Zoom is cracking me up when I look at Totoro.
and close to our funding goals. We can't wait to bring you all kinds of exclusives and incentives that will announce.
Was Humberto excited to see this project moving forward again?
You know, Humberto's been supportive. He's got other things to do. You know, he did the cover. He would rather go off and do other things, and that's fine. We got Mike Bowden doing the interior art now, so he's really been able to take over. And we've got some new chapters coming anyway, so it's kind of a decent moment to, you know, the art style's super similar. But look at that art, man. Look at
I
that.
know.
So good.
So amazing.
I'm really thrilled that we're going to be bringing
I mean, that's the one thing. People love this book, man. So here's some of the new stuff. And
How did you come about finding your artist?
So there is a French publisher who has always wanted to publish the book, and there was a French publisher called Glénat that did it. But the people that published the Little Prince, they really love this book, and so they wanted to bring it back into print. They're the one I got to give Thomas Riviere a ton of credit, because I was heartbroken by how. Look at that.
Characters. And we've even developed a live action version of it that we performed.
There's Carrie Ann.
Hey, it's Carrie Ann. Hey, it's that guy.
Hey.
To the fans.
That's pretty funny, Paul.
Oh, Paul, that was a special treat, Paul. And that outfit for you was fantastic.
What? Oh, my outfit? Yeah, I should get a picture of it.
Oh, I have some pictures. I can see if I can find one of our. Or no,
Oh,
you
man.
do that.
All right, now here we go with it. Let me get louder now.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm really excited.
Which is going to be. Can we do that one again?
Okay. Take 10.
You're not helping.
That's great, buddy. That is great.
Yeah. So, this book is so great, right? And it's from this world called Fablewood, which I actually created many, many years ago. And I showed you guys last time I was on that Fablewood is this big world where all of the stories live, right? And so we did that other book called Fiction Squad, which we're going to reprint at some point, and we're going to bring that back out as well, where the guy from the detective fiction world had gone to investigate nursery rhymes because they were all crime scenes. Remember I showed you that book last time I was on?
Yep.
And so we're going to do a bunch of Fablewood stories. We're going to do this issue of Fairy Quest, and then we're going to do issue 4, which is the end of that Fairy Quest saga for the moment. And so actually I see a question here, which is what are the various shires of Fablewood, which is a great question, right? Because the shires are each realm. So you've got children's stories, and the children's stories have a bunch of shires in them. So you've got like fairy tales, and you've got like cautionary tales, and you've got fables, and you've got nursery rhymes, right? So look, yeah, you can bring a bit of the artwork up there. People can see it. And I've actually got some as well. I'll show you guys a bunch of the art that we've got. But there's Humberto's new cover.
That's an incredible cover.
Yeah.
I love Mr. Wolf. I love his face in that cover.
Right.
Yeah. So at the beginning, here's something that's really cool, right? So at the beginning, that's my wife, Melinda, reading to my son, Jack, right? And so Jack, when we started this, was like 6, but now he's 14.
Yeah.
and he's got hair. My wife is really appalled.
Like he's got a mustache growing or something?
Yeah, he's got a mustache growing, right? He shaves it now. It's shocking, right?
What happened to my little baby boy?
Here's the thing on the page. If you just want to stop there for a second, Niall or Bill. So what we're doing is we've got some really cool stuff. Billy, as you know, we got something of yours coming.
Yep.
So
next week.
So we've got a Kevin Eastman cover. We've got a Billy Tucci cover. We've got 3 Ali Garza covers. And I want to mention Ali right now. So I don't know if any of you guys heard or know, but he actually has COVID right now. He's really
Does he? I saw a post, so I was wondering what was going on.
I talked to him last night. He's not feeling very well.
Yeah.
But he's getting by, but he says it is knocking the stuffing out of him. So
well, let him know we're sending our best.
Yeah.
I will, man. I mean, stay safe, everyone. That's all you can say. Like, be careful and don't let anyone tell you what to do with COVID. Just do your thing and stick around and make sure you're okay. And it, we'll get there. We'll get through it. So anyway, so Ali's got some, and Mike Bowden's got his own special cover that he did. And in this issue, so the 2 characters are going down. They just went through Oz, and they just ran into Dorothy, which we did like trailer trash Dorothy. So she's completely awful, right? You can see her there. She's just terrible, right? She's like really mean, and she's got all the flying monkeys. So what it is the queens and the witches are basically the mafia. They're like the mob, and the women are always the strongest in children's stories. So the 2 conciliaires are Dorothy and Alice. and they're at war with each other, right? And so our characters kind of run into them, and this is where Red and Mr. Wolf trying to get away from like this. Look at the iron giant that is our Tin Man.
Yeah,
it's great, right? Look at his face in the bottom right hand corner. He's so cool.
I mean, I love the colors look like watercolors.
Yeah, so that's Leo Olea, right? So he's our secret weapon. He's always been our colorist on this project, and he did Revelations with Humberto and I. So Leo's stuff is just beautiful and just doing an amazing work. And Mike has really picked up on the work. So what's going on right now is that we have all those, but guess what? We've actually got a couple of other covers that we haven't even said exist because we want to get to like stretch goals and extra stuff, you know? We really want to build this project up. And so, hey, play that little video at the bottom there, man, because one of the things that people don't realize is how beautiful these actual books are.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at the production values that we put onto Fairy Quest. Here's the squared bound or perfect bound side of the book. We like to make something that lasts for a very long time. If you look at the back cover, and we've done it on both covers, you'll see, as I've held it up to the light here, it's do not deviate, but that's actually just using a spot UV varnish. So that's something that we brought to the front cover of all of our books. Let's take a look at the front cover. As I hold it up to the light, you'll see we've got these spot UV coating again, so it's in the eyeballs. But you can also see that Red Riding Hood is actually embossed on the cover, and some of the other characters are as well. This is the kind of book that we make to be very sturdy and beautiful so that it will last a really long time, and we hope that you will love it as much as we do.
Oh, is that the piece of music that I love that you wrote?
Yeah, guilty as charged.
Yeah.
You write music too?
Buddy, look at my screen for a second. Yeah.
Oh, Claudius is back. Hi, Claudius.
So here he is. This is him, and right now he's annoyed because in order to get him he's annoyed. So he's going to go at this treat. He is very angry right now. Come here. All right. I'm getting you a treat. Here you go. And he's very happy now.
That's so
he's on his treat.
What kind of treat is that?
Like, no one can ever see him because he doesn't show up on camera. He's invisible. He's like a stealth cat. He's just eating his little chew. So yeah, I do music, and in fact, I've written a bunch of stuff that's Fairy Quest music. I might be able to even play you some of the Fairy Quest music in a second if you want.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
So we have different stuff for the adventure. So I'm building out the soundtrack because we did a recording. So Carrie Ann, who, as I said, she's Claudius. You're so stupid. You dropped half of your treats. Second of all, you literally did it again. Claws right in my face, mate. Come here, it's in my hand, you moron. Look, you can't find it.
Sounds like my dad talking to me.
I know, but he's not that smart.
Oh, that's so sad, Scott.
I know, right?
He's literally the funniest, friendliest cat, but he is dumber than a mud plant.
Funny.
It
was funny because you went, Carrie Ann, actually, Claudius, wow. I was like, what's the rest of the sentence?
Look at him, he can't get his shit together. Look at the state of him. He keeps trying to eat my fingers because he can't find the treat. It's on my hand, you lunatic. He doesn't get it. He's not that smart. But the thing about this guy is he's just the best dude. He doesn't care. He's sort of like a big daddy's boy, big baby. He's upset now because he wants treats. There aren't any more treats, okay? You're finished. Bad enough. There are no more. So yeah, I'll play you a bit of music in a minute. So I've been writing music for Fairy Quest. Some of the stuff that's for the bigger scenes, the more adventure scenes, and then some of the stuff that's so I'll play it for you if you like. But I came to America teaching music actually when I first came over. So I've always been a musician. It's just I don't do it. I do a lot of other stuff,
Yeah, and I remember that was when you were when we were working on some of my stuff, and you were playing that song. I thought, what is that song? It sounds like Legend. I want it.
Yeah.
It's fairy music. It's fairy music. So,
Niall, have you ever seen Legend?
No, I haven't.
Really? Oh,
I can't kick you off your own live stream, but
poor shame. We used to.
I'll
we
watch
used to
it tonight, guys.
movie
Don't worry. I'll watch it tonight.
before you were born.
it's better.
Marianne.
What'd
We
you
used
say?
to watch that movie in college all the time and quote every line from it.
Oh, I love it so much. Legends is one of the biggest inspirations for one of the things I'm working on. So I love that movie. Now I said watch the director's cut because with the longer scenes and stuff, there's a lot more in there.
Do you prefer the Tangerine Dream soundtrack?
You know, I love the
Goldsmith?
Dream soundtrack, but I also like the London Philharmonic one too. And it's hard because it's almost a different movie when you watch it with different music, you know?
Yeah. I have the script from it, like the first draft of the script somewhere.
Wow.
So maybe I'll see if I can find it. And if I can, I'll Xerox it and I'll have it sent to you. I'll have it sent to Paul and he can give it to you.
That'd be amazing.
It changes everything. It's completely different.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I like the director's cut because Lily looks like less of a brat because you see more of her relationship with Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a little bit better of an idea of the characters and stuff like that. But it's interesting. I can't decide between because Loved by the Sun. That's what all that stuff. You know, the Tangerine Dream stuff. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah, Niall, that's the one with Tim Curry as Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see that makeup? The Rob Bottin makeup. He had the giant horns. He's all in red.
Yeah.
All right.
And Tom Cruise and Mia Sarah.
Yeah, I love Mia Sarah.
1985 film.
Yeah.
Oh, you good? Oh, yeah. You look.
I'm trying to pull up the trailer.
Yeah, show the trailer.
I was about to say that fit.
I get flagged for it, but I don't care. I do what I want.
It came out in '86. Maybe in the
It came
UK.
out in '85. Legend 1985 trailer, bro. Come on, Google.
Well, that's a trailer, though, dude. That's the movie doesn't come out till '86.
Oh.
My Heart came out in '84, Billy, and it's here for you.
Your whole body came out in '84, right? except for your teeth.
Right.
Except for your teeth. Your teeth came in '86, I guess, right? Or
I don't know how that. That's so weird. Who says that? Who says that? Except your teeth.
Yeah.
That's just weird, Billy.
Play the trailer, bro.
I will, bro.
Does it have like the trailer guy? Let's
Play
see.
the trailer. You mean me?
Oh, look at how beautiful it is.
Something really special that I've been promising.
Tom Cruise. Love Tom Cruise. Look at Tom Cruise.
Always go now.
Look at Tom Cruise. Oh my God, look at his triceps.
Be here for a short while.
Don't you trust me?
Yes, I do.
What's this ad? Go away.
Just you, Lily. Nothing is more magical. As long as they roam the earth, evil can never harm the pure of heart.
Here comes a great shot. Oh, they didn't play it. Oh.
Look at that.
No.
Back to the mayor. It's not safe to stay here. You'll have to hurry. Leave now.
Oh, the scream, Skylar. The scream.
I feel like this is a fan trailer.
Yeah.
I think this is a fan trailer.
It's a fan trailer.
Oh, that shot is so beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, Meg Mucklebones.
Yeah, there's a fairy called Jenny Greenfield. Oh, bye, Dark.
Nice.
Paul, I
want the actual trailer.
Yeah, well, because the actual trailer is going to have that in a world where the darkness is wrong. You know?
I know what I'm listening to when I draw your cover, Paul.
Yeah. There you go.
I have that on Laserdisc, too.
You'd have to
Laserdisc. Laserdisc.
What in the world? You'd have to glue it. I was like, you're gonna have to glue it.
Glue it? What?
This wine.
Nothing at all.
Glue his unicorn horn back on.
Paul,
Tim Curry is a badass. The Lord of Darkness.
Paul will laugh at this. Paul, I only cried once during that trailer just now.
Yep.
I cry when I see the unicorns because they're so.
Oh no.
No, it's such a
peanut butter on my peppermint schnapps, so I'm crying.
No, it's such a gorgeous trailer. That's like
I think I found it. I don't know if you guys want to waste another minute and 31 seconds of your life, but this might actually be the real trailer.
I don't see unicorns as a waste of life like ever. So.
Well, I apologize, and I thought it came out in '86.
Ooh.
I'm almost positive it came out in '86. I remember when it hit the
It came
theater.
out in '86.
Let's see.
I know that because that's my other favorite movie.
I'm gonna check it myself now because I know it came out the same summer Top Gun came out.
All right. Dun, dun, dun. Like that right away.
What I love about it is that they do the voiceover and they go blah blah blah, and I am darkness. It's like you could have actually put Tim Curry doing that voiceover. It would have actually meant something.
Trying to do Tim Curry because they couldn't afford to pay him at that moment.
But they got Rando guy does it, and it's sort of like, ha, I'm gonna pretend to be Tim Curry.
Like,
like, no, you're
it sounds
not.
like Cookie Monster trying to be a grown up.
That set was built on the Her Majesty's Secret Service set. Is that the big, is that the movie, the big James Bond one that Austin Powers was taken from?
It's going to be Pinewood.
Connery one.
It's going to be Pinewood if it is.
Yeah, no, but what's the name? It's not Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's the one with
that's George Lazenby.
James Bond.
I don't know, but ever since I saw that, everything when we were making some of the proof of concept videos for my project, I was like, can we have glitter trees?
Yeah.
Is there dust in the sunlight always?
Yes, little dandelion fluff floating about.
Yeah, we did bubbles, and there's a creek near my house where we shot something, and our DP probably thought I was insane because I always go, it looks like Legend. It looks like where the unicorns came running.
Well, that set burned to the ground. That whole set burned. They had to rebuild that entire set.
There he is. My cat.
I think I knew that. There's Claudia.
What's he doing over there?
He's lost his testosterone. He's trying to get it back because she's sucking the testosterone out of my cat.
All right,
Bowden is happily just like laying down at my feet, being a very good boy. He's laying on my other pair.
He does love you, yeah.
I couldn't decide which ones to wear, and so he's laying on top of the other ones.
All right, Paul. So I'm very interested in Tinkerbell, and I want to because that's the characters. That's the focus of my character of my cover is going to be Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Could you give us an insight not only on Tinkerbell but the actual story? What happened in part 3 of the book? And then I want to ask you a bunch of questions about Tinkerbell because she looks really amazing. I love
Let me do a share screen for a minute. I'll bring up a little bit of Tinkerbell. Hang on a second. Here we go. We'll kind of share this screen. I can't really do.
Yeah, I really love the way she's drawn.
Yeah.
There she is up here, right?
You want me to go full screen, Paul?
You can if you want. Yeah, sure.
Not very nice.
It doesn't really do it.
Doesn't matter. So you can see Tinkerbell up top here. It's kind of weird because Red is super innocent, right? Red Riding Hood is just always honest and always tells the truth, and she's super innocent. And the way that we did the story, so the story of Fairy Quest is that Red Riding Hood and the wolf live in a place where they've got to tell this story, and if they don't tell it, they get their minds wiped. So they live in this really fascist environment where they're made to tell their story. Because if you think about like children's stories, they're always a little dark, right? Like Hansel and Gretel is about a witch that eats 2 children, you know?
Yeah.
The Pied Piper of Hamelin actually comes from an old German legend where they believe there was a person who was a killer who locally killed some children. So they told the story of the Pied Piper that would bring children away from the village because they couldn't explain the serial killing, you know? And so there's all this darkness, and in our story, they get their minds wiped if they don't tell this story properly. And so in all of this, they decide that they're going to escape as friends, and they go for this journey.
Look at them. I love them.
Yeah, they decide to kind of get away. And then they kind of travel they travel all over the place, you know, and they run into a lot of people. So here's like Peter Pan. I think he's tremendous. He's such a great character, and Tinkerbell's right there next to him, you know. And what we did was we made all of the women, like except for Pan, maybe we made them the strongest characters in the story, because in children's stories, the women are always the strongest characters. And I don't know if you've noticed that, but it's really interesting that the women are super strong in all these stories. And so in our story, Red and Wolf are just kind of trying to get away, and they find out that there may be a way to get away, and basically they learn it from this guy. So look at our Captain Hook, right?
Oh wow.
So in our version, Hook has lost his arms and his legs to the alligator, and he climbs around on this kind of like spider web. So Kevin Eastman is actually going to be doing the Captain Hook cover. He loves Hook, so he's going to be doing that cover. And then Bill, you and I talked about Tinkerbell. So she's, this is her up top, like this is her kind of. And so the thing about the wolf is he always sleeps outside and he'll sleep in the rain. And so the reason Red loves him is because he lost his wife and children to the hunters in their story. So he loses his family, and she feels sorry for him, and she kind of loves him. So they decide to get away, and they hear of this place called the Real World. So they basically go on the yellow brick road to freedom. And because they love each other, like I think this is my favorite image. That's like my favorite shot. So where we got them to in the first two issues was that they went along the yellow brick road and they met a guy called the Map Maker. So the bad guy is called Mr. Grimm, and the good guy is called Anderson. So Anderson, you've got obviously the Grimm, brothers Grimm, and you've got Hans Christian Andersen, and then Anderson is like a map maker. So what you find out a little bit is that Anderson believes in their right to have their own destiny and to make their own decisions, whereas Grimm wants them to come back and tell their story. So if you don't tell your story, so all across the world, there's all these images that live there, and they say things like, keep your story straight, do not deviate. So it's like 1984. It's like George Orwell's 1984. And if you deviate, you get your mind wiped. But what Grimm is trying to do, it seems, is to protect them, because even though he's the bad guy, he's trying to make sure that they don't break the rules of their story. So the mum reading to the kid at the very beginning, she begins to forget the story as she's going, because Red Riding Hood and the Wolf are now going along the yellow brick road. And in the issue that we've got, they go down, they get away, and they go down into Wonderland, and they realize that Wonderland is completely corrupted because they've been unpoliced for so long. And so now the rules of Wonderland are broken, and Alice is mental, and the queens are mental. And when they come out the other side, they realize that they're a genre border, and they cross the genre border, and they go into the world of horror stories. Nice. And they go through there, and then they go into the world of science fiction, and then they go into, and they become self-aware. So that's what we're doing in the next chapter. We're kind of showing them realizing, wow, the world is a bigger place than we realized, and it's different from what we thought it was going to be.
Now you had mentioned that a lot of fairy tales are based in reality of events that happened. And two questions. One, well, I'll get to let me ask this one first. But did you say that the Pied Piper story came about because there was a serial killer that was killing children, and for them to tell a story of how the children are missing, that they made up this fairy tale that there was a Pied?
Yeah, there's a theory that in the town of Hamelin, around about the time that maybe 100 years before he wrote that story, before that story came into existence, that there was maybe a person that was killing children, and that their way of explaining someone that would have that kind of depravity, right? We would know kind of what it is, but they didn't. So they were explaining like, hey, if you go, the Pied Piper will take you away. And so apparently he was a local musician that had been killing children.
A lot of fairy tales are cautionary tales,
Yeah, caution, yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't know how to explain a lot of things, and so that's why you don't go into the woods and stuff like that. But it's interesting. Or a lot of them were to explain like Beauty and the Beast and things like that, where there's a young girl who's married off to a beast. You look at those time periods, and that was what was happening in their world. You would marry off a girl to an old yucky man for money or a house appliance or something.
Yeah, and that comment that you showed, which is 1984 was a cautionary tale and not an yes. So we took a cautionary tale in 1984 and we translated it into a video, so into a comic. And what's kind of cool about Fairy Quest, you can see with the art, is with, say, a little 5-year-old girl, she can come up to the booth and I go, guess what? Red Riding Hood and the Wolf are best friends in this story. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
You can give it to someone who's 5 and you can give it to someone who's 75 and they eat. And I've never done a book that was so clearly an all ages book like this. All of the Fablewood stories, the other one too, like the other one is like a kid's view of crime, with the detective from the crime fiction going to live where the nursery rhymes are, because you just mash up genres, right?
Yeah.
The next one that we want to do is a woman from the world of romance fiction.
Mhm.
And she goes to live where the horror stories are, because she's made to be an ambassador to the world of horror stories, and she hates it. But after a time, she realizes, wait a minute, these people are just doing their job just like me. That it's just cultural difference is what she doesn't understand, right? So we see it one way, and then a little kid's like, haha, look at the funny monsters, you know? So it's kind of cool. I get to do all kinds of stories in one world.
Somebody asked me about Fairy Quest. They were asking, they said, well, what age is it aimed at? And I said, everybody. And I think that it does a really good job of like walking this line of keeping, because true fairy tales all have an edge to them, right? Like if you look up the original versions of like somebody The Little Mermaid, it's very different from what Disney is, right? But like Fairy Quest, I feel like walks this very nice line where they've still got the edge, and you've still got things that are very relevant now, but it's also just utterly charming and beautiful, and there's a lot of good messaging in there. And so I feel like, yeah, a 5-year-old could pick it up, or anybody, and could find something in it.
Yeah. And it's nice. It's because comics are supposed to be a form of escapism. So I love the fact that there's the scary stuff. You know what I mean? There's the scary stuff, but then again, there's the romance, and then there's the family aspects of the story between with the wolf. You know what I mean? With the wicked. What is he? Just a big bad wolf, right? Who's lost his family to hunters and things like that.
Yeah. And
it's kind of cool. I mean, that's really what really comics are all about. Because
I want to show you guys a few of the pages so that people can actually see what the pages look like. Hopefully we can show that a little bit if you guys are open to it, because the full pages themselves, Bill, obviously when we do comics, even just the way a whole page is different from one particular image from it, right? Mm-hmm. So let me show you a little bit of the like lettered version of this thing. Let me just go kind of share a screen here, and we will show you. Hang on, maybe no. Hang on. Oh, here you go. All right. So let me show you some of these pages. So this is Melinda, my wife, and Jack when he was a little kid. Now he's 14, which is shocking. But let me show you some of these pages. They're so beautifully, like, that's the thing. The construction of the pages is really cool too,
Yeah.
And
they're beautifully lettered too.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. It's Olea does our design as well. So he designs the lettering, which I think is really important, right? Mm-hmm. We said a lot of times, I'm not a comic guy, right? I know it sounds crazy. I do loads of them, but I'm not really a comic book guy because I want to print the kind of stuff I want to own. So I want to own hardback books that you can pass down to your kids and your grandkids. So these books are really, really hard and they're really strong. And then the content's like 48, 50 pages. So look at the bottom of this page, right? Where the wolf and that, you realize like it's just play acting, like they're best friends.
Yeah.
And these are the bad guys. These are the think police, because it's like the thought police from 1984. Mm-hmm. And this guy over here is Mr. Grimm, and he's basically annoyed because they're not keeping on time. So he's just horrible, and he's like, she's behind schedule, and I'm not going to stand for this. So another thing, like, so this is the bit where they're in the rain. Look at the way that was drawn.
Oh yeah,
it's so beautifully
colored. I mean, that's beautifully done.
And Leo does such a brilliant job with the coloring. But look at this bit here. It says, "Keep your story straight. Do not deviate." So it's kind of like that 1984 vibe, right? Mm-hmm.
I love the light. Like the fact that the lightning in there looks so bright and real.
Yeah,
I said it looks like watercolors.
But it's like a hybrid, Billy, of like it's like a watercolor, but also just almost like really mixed with that vibrant digital. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's luminous. Yeah, I mean,
it's like luminous. Yeah, exactly.
Corner.
A great colorist, a great inker. I mean, they can really make your art.
Yeah. So this is a bit where she goes to like a support group, and it's where all the people that don't want to tell their stories go. So you've got like Cinderella, who doesn't want to tell her story. She doesn't love the prince, and she just doesn't want to do it. And then finally Red Riding Hood shows up and says, I'm Red Riding Hood, I've become friends with the wolf. And they can't believe it because she's the most important story in Storyland. And they can't believe it. They're like, you sure about this? And so they line up all the people in the town square and basically they catch Cinderella. They
Mhm.
line her up in the town square, and then they bring her into the mind eraser and they wipe her mind.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's got that. And now he's reading off this list of stuff, you know. Here's all the people that I'm, and so he reads out this list, you know, lived in a shoe, old woman, Stiltskin, Rumple, and he's just reading them off like the Gestapo.
Yeah.
That's a cool comment from Buddy Lord. This art is very cool. Almost got to look as if they're trying to recreate it as if it were off the pages of an old book.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of thought. Thank you for that comment, because there's a lot of thought behind it. And
yeah. And Paul Herrenberg asks, were you influenced at all by Bill Willingham's Fables? Lots of social commentary in that.
Yeah, this came out before, initially, I believe, came out just before Fables. I'm not sure, or around about it, but no. I know Bill, by the way, and I think it's a struggle sometimes for me to know if I'm influenced by anybody, because I don't read comics and I don't see a lot of stuff. I tend to make stuff, and but I will say that Bill's Fables is brilliant. It's just Fables is a bit more adult skewed. This is not so much. This is actually still an all ages book, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, for a little kid, they're just reading like Red Riding Hood and the Wolf are best friends. But look at the dragons, right? Like that stuff is just immense.
Yeah.
And,
you know what's so funny, Paul? At this book, the timing couldn't be better for this book too, because what you're you know referring to 1984 and all, and there does seem to be this Orwellian, you know, cloud that, you know what I mean, that's streaking over the entertainment industry. Say even the comics industry.
You got 2 more backers.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Okay.
Backers.
Two sips.
Yeah. You know, with these gatekeepers and things like that, and with Twitter and people telling on each other, saying, becoming tattletales, and hey, look at this, everyone. Look what this person's doing. Look who this person's talking to. And you know, as I don't remember if it was Lee Ditwork or someone earlier said that, you know, 1984 is not an instruction manual. It's a cautionary tale. You know, and it's true, and it's I love that this book in a roundabout way addresses what a lot of people are thinking right now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is that timeless stories are timeless, right? And so they're always relevant. And I think that what we're seeing is, you know, in society right now, I'd be honest with you, I think that what's actually happening, whether it's just people going off on Twitter or people being frustrated or people fighting about politics or whatever it might be, it's very much a twofold thing. One of it is that right now we're all dealing with COVID, right? So I think we're all a little bit really on edge, you know? And so things are heightened. And then all of the arguing, you know, I don't do it, right? I don't do politics. I'm
ain't worth it. Yeah, I mean,
so I stand way outside of it, and I see that it's dividing people, but it's more like social. How funny that we're more connected than we've ever been, and we're less connected.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We all spout to the world, and yet we have got nothing to say, and so people are trying to find something relevant to say. Whereas I think in a book like Fairy Quest, you know, I feel like there's such relevance. Like if you look at this bit here, they're hunting these people down, and everybody's, like you said, everyone, you know, it's you must conform, you must do this thing. And those of us that live outside conformity are like, yeah, you must. I don't need to conform. Fuck you. So,
yeah.
I'm not conforming. Don't tell me what I got. You know why you tell me what I got to do? Because that's what you got to do. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, you know?
So
we don't know me.
So this is, I'm kind of showing. So this is the tragedy of Wolf right here. I think this page is the most beautiful page.
Oh wow, you should make that a print, Paul.
Oh my, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So gorgeous and so
I would take out the guy, you know, the hunter though.
Yeah, well, so in it, he sleeps outside always, and she says, like, he always sleeps like that. And she's like, why? This is Tinkerbell, because Tinkerbell's mean. And she says he just does. And then this is his dream, and it's him and his wife, him and his vixen and his cubs, and then they get killed by the hunters. And he has to tell the story with the hunters, so he just...
That just made me sad.
Yeah, sorry.
That just made me sad.
And then so they come upon, you know, we're just kind of showing some of it. So they come upon a village, and they find Cinderella, and she's like a Stepford wife. She's had her mind wiped in the dreaded mind eraser. So now she's just telling her story, you know? And then I think one of my favorite parts of this thing is, so they come across this old lady, and this is the cottage, right? This is Hansel and Gretel. So you figure, oh no, they're going to run into the witch, right? And this is the witch here, and she's practicing her lines. But when she runs into them, she's like, no, you don't understand. That's just my job. But I'm not working right now. I'm going to help you. So Hansel and Gretel, it turns out, are absolute bastards. And I just love them. Look at them. They're so mean.
Terrible.
They're so horrible. And they treat the old lady really badly. But she's actually really nice, even though she's the witch and they're the kids. So
you got another backer.
This story was that it is, don't think you know people because you don't.
That's right.
You know? Yep.
Yep. You know, and that I don't know if we had that conversation, Paul, when you were here. We were talking about Hollywood and you know the famous story of Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz. And she was like a saint. She was down at the Los Angeles food, soup kitchen every Saturday and Sunday morning, feeding the poor.
Oh, look at that version of Pan and Tank.
Yeah, look at Obi.
Scott Campbell.
Yeah.
That's why Billy likes Tink. Billy's going to do a great Tinkerbell.
Yeah, now I'm actually sketching right now. I think I like that costume.
Yeah.
I like the bells, not Scala.
Strategically placed bells, you know.
It's funny how like Peter Pan is like 10 years older in this.
Yes.
In this, but oh gosh, I love the art, and I really like that you guys sort of with Tinkerbell, you know, in the original Peter Pan, J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, Tinkerbell is not this cute, nice little fairy. She tries to kill Wendy. Yeah. You know, she's a jealous pixie, and I think it's nice that you sort of kind of kept her that way.
Yeah. No, she's horrible, right? She's like mean. You know?
Carrie-Ann, he's got another backer.
Oh,
take a drink.
Here we go. Rune and I are going to take a drink. Ready?
There you go.
He wanted to come back on. He was right here, and he got in my lap. So
in a second, I'm going to find you. I'm just looking for something that I think you guys will. One of the things that I thought was really great about Fairy Quest is that we've had a lot of people that have sort of come up to us and said, "Hey, they're doing like cosplay and stuff," and people have always been like very excited about it. You know, they love the project, and so some people took it upon themselves to send us artwork. And I want to show you this one person's art. This Marta Nael. Here we go. I will bring her image up. So she did a photo of Red Riding Hood, or a thing of our Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. Check this out. This is Marta Nael's one.
Oh wow!
Oh my God!
Yeah.
What?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and we ended up printing it in the Spanish edition because we loved it so much.
Wow!
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So I think it's been something that actually, when you take these timeless stories and you use them in a particularly interesting way, and what we've got a chance to do, I think this is really interesting, is once we get through this chapter and they start seeing science fiction, and you're like, what would Red Riding Hood and the Wolf? So what they do is they're going along the Yellow Brick Road to a place called Real World, where they can become free, and as they go, they are changing. So she's becoming a real girl, and the wolf is becoming a real wolf. And you realize maybe when they get there, they might not be who they started as. And what does that mean to us? So what are the best stories, right? The best stories are the ones that don't end with an answer. They end with a question.
Yeah.
What would you do if this were you, kind of thing?
Hey, Paul, are there levels, and I because we've been on for a while, and in case anybody's joined us, are there any kind of levels where people can get the first two issues?
Yes. So what we did was we wanted to make sure that people, oh, absolutely, right? So we did it this way. In the most basic one, if you just scroll down there a little bit, Nyla, so we did a bundle that was the bundle of 1 and 2 if you wanted it. There's a bundle of 1, 2, and 3 if you want it, right?
Yeah, I think that's their $80 pledge, right? For all 3?
Yep. Right. So we took money off of the pledge of the total cover prices and stuff like that to try to do it. We did a 2 and 3 bundle in case somebody actually has 1, but they never got 2. And we even did a 1 and 3 bundle in case someone found themselves with 2, because it's no skin off our nose, right? We can just send you the 2 books that you don't have, you know? But then we got a bundle of all the Ali Gaza covers. We've got a bundle of all the special covers. And like I said, I can't do it tonight. I'd love to be able to do it, but we actually have 2 other artists that are lined up who are going to be doing a special piece for us. that we're gonna, because we're trying to run the line, right? And let's talk a little bit about Kickstarter and funding, crowdfunding comics and that, because of the difficulties and the challenges. It went live, and within 2 hours, I was like, oh no, I should have done this and not this, and oh great, I can't wait to introduce our stretch goal. People will be really excited because of this. So every day I'm going to do an update, and I'm going to make sure that people know, like, we're listening to them. So someone immediately said, where's the deluxe bundle that you did for the first two? And we didn't do it. We didn't do the same thing. Now, why didn't I do it? Because my understanding was that with our tough situation that we had on the last Kickstarter, the fulfillment people that we worked with, I've said enough, right? They basically didn't glue. They were supposed to put the stuff together, and they didn't. So it was like poor quality. And when people got it, it wasn't what they paid for.
And it pisses you off, right?
It pissed me off, right? Like, I couldn't have done anything about it. What could I have done? So we're not really doing it, except that we might do it, because if we do one, we're going to do it. We'll do it and make sure it's beautiful. But we're just kind of sad that like some lower quality stuff went out last time when we did it. I guess I can't do anything about it except move forward, right?
Rusty Deo asks, he's a viewer of our show, is Japan one of the limited international shipping countries?
So number one, yes, it is. And number two, even though we've limited the international shipping, it's a reason. And that's because of COVID, right? So the problem is that COVID, we don't know what's going to happen with international shipping. We didn't make it available to everyone. But what we said, and we're going to say it repeatedly until people get it, if you live outside the ones that we limited it to, just get in touch with us and we'll work something out. But the worry that we have is we're going to say we can ship to, some other country like Nicaragua, and then we can't, right? And we don't want to do that to anybody. We don't want to have someone pledge and then they can't get their stuff. So we limited it to the biggest countries that we could find, the most likely to ship to. And then if anybody wants it from outside, they can probably work it out. But we want to be protecting people, right? Japan, absolutely.
I want to go to Japan.
They're already in.
We could just hand deliver it and I'll go to Japan.
There you go.
There you go.
You have to try the vending machines and let me know.
We raise the money for Fairy Quest and we go, fuck it, you're on your own, and we go to Japan.
We'll go to Japan.
You're kidding.
If I get to a certain point, can we go to Japan?
So, Paul,
I want to try the vending machines.
Can we have, when do you think you will debut those covers? And when you come back, because we could do it when my cover's finished.
Yep, absolutely.
And
so
one
of the questions about when can we debut the covers, right? When are you ready with yours, Bill? What do you think?
Hopefully, I'm kind of drawing it now.
Yeah,
I got a little rough here. I could show you.
Show it, man.
But I can do it. I'm fulfilling this weekend.
Oh,
Look at that.
Maybe
Look
something
at
like that. It's kind of tough. But no, this is just the rough.
Try that after my life.
I'd like to also offer Paul talk about it. We can also offer the rough drawing.
Yep.
And then the cover too for you.
Yeah, man. And so the way that we do it is take photos, Bill. Like when you've got a bit done, take photos and we'll show
2 more backers.
I love
right.
backers.
All right, 2 more backers. 1.
I think what's interesting is that we're up to sort of 10 and a half, 11. Overnight, you get some people coming in from different countries, other people later on in the evening. One of the things that happened to us early was that we got a Kickstarter sent in. That is a project that we like.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's in the bottom corner. If you actually look on that screen right there in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little tag that says it's a project that we like.
What does that mean?
Kickstarter found the project and said, "Wow, this is really cool."
Let me see if it does it. When I went just to Kickstarter, it was like right there already.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, there it is. Okay,
oh, that's great, buddy.
Right there, fresh favorites.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, when this is all said and done and your Kickstarter campaign ends, will you also put it on Indiegogo? And I'm asking that because we've done over 150 shows. We've had a lot of creators, and we've learned that there are people that will only for one reason or another, shop on Kickstarter, and there are those that will only shop on Indiegogo.
You know, Bill, honestly, I never heard that before. That's a great. I mean, we'd love to, right? Because the more people that get it, the more people will get the next one, right? And they will get, you know, like I am not exaggerating. I have done my job for quite a number of years, right?
Right.
And in the time that I've done, I can go to a show and I can show the origin of Wolverine, and people are like, yeah, cool, right? They like it, fine. If I ever show anybody this book, they buy all of them and they're like, when do I get the next one? And I'm not kidding. I don't know if I've ever had a single person that ever said anything other than this is the most amazing book I've ever read. And I'm not exaggerating. This is just kind of how it is with this book. You can tell from the art, and the story feels really honest and easy to write. So I think, you know, that's a great idea, Bill. Like, if we actually finish this out and raise this money, if we do an Indiegogo campaign, we'll probably not ask for a lot, right? Because I think that at that point we will have raised enough to make the book. But I think if we do want an Indiegogo after the fact, that's a great idea. I mean, I'll probably hit you up for some help. But
absolutely,
yeah. Is it just a rollover? You can literally, I think Kickstarter lets you actually just roll it over.
Yeah, and then you can link it from Kickstarter to your Indiegogo on the Kickstarter page when the campaign ends.
Okay.
So if it says more information on this campaign, because if someone misses it, they click on that and it goes right to the Indiegogo page.
Yeah.
And the Indiegogo page is also cool because you can then do it once it goes in demand. Now you can have your Indiegogo campaign be 60 days if you want. Yeah. Then it goes into demand, which is like a store. So while you're fulfilling the book, you can keep getting orders in.
No, I think when you transfer over, you're only transferring over in demand. They don't let you run a full campaign.
Oh, they don't. Okay.
Because you ran your campaign through Kickstarter. And I think what the partnership is there that they allow that is, you know, if your book was still in development, right? Say that you had some pages done enough to do your campaign while you're finishing your book, this allows you to keep selling your book. Or if you just stay with Kickstarter, once your campaign ends, you're done. With Indiegogo, once your campaign ends, you can stay in demand pretty much as long as you want. Yeah. And so while you're finishing your book, you're still selling your book. Now, some of those tiers won't exist anymore because it was exclusive to the portion of the campaign, but you get to keep doing it. That's why I favor Indiegogo over Kickstarter, because it just makes sense. Especially if you're an artist, a publisher doing comics, why would you want to stop selling your book when you can just keep selling your book while you're making it? You know?
Can I just interrupt something? Look at the state of Rune. Look at the state of the cat. Look at him.
Look at what?
He's so happy.
The state of the cat.
What's his name?
Rune.
I like that. Where's my kitty? Oh, she left.
He's just he wanted to be on. He wanted to be back on, but he's like falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous cat, though.
Well, yeah, it is. Really. Is it a Himalayan?
I think he's a Siberian forest cat.
Oh,
I was going to say Siberian forest cat, but I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, Niall texted me, Carrie Ann.
What?
Niall texted me, says,
is that a Siberian forest cat?
A forest cat.
I'll show you something.
And then he said, no, I think it's a Labrador.
Do that Rune can't do, though. Watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Where's my cat? She was just laying down there. Sophie!
Well, you know, we are 3 minutes away from 10:30, so I don't know if that opens up for some smooth fairy music.
Oh, you want smooth fairy music?
So, Paul, real quick, I want to get to the fairy music, but when we did our campaign, we did $70,000 on Kickstarter. It was huge. We did an additional $58,000 on Indiegogo.
Yeah.
But since then, on Indiegogo, we're now, our combined, while it was in demand, is over $112,000.
That's great, man. I mean,
we've almost doubled our Indiegogo campaign in demand mode.
I think what's great about it is, like I said, and I'm not, there's Stogie, there's another guy from Meta, that's our guy Stogie. And so Stogie and I, you know, I was talking about the cautionary tale about, like, I'm never letting anyone touch my stuff.
Yeah.
Stogie and I are going to be the people that touch our stuff. Carrie Ann will come over and do the stuff with us, and Sarah Boyd and all of our people will all come over and hang out and drink and, you know, put our stuff together. But Stogie and I are basically the only two people that touch us. So there's Jimmy. Look, Jimmy showed up.
Hey, Jimmy, come
Jimmy,
on.
why don't you come on, bro?
Jimmy.
Jimmy in here. We're having a good. We're working Paul's Kickstarter. Jimmy, he's kicking ass, buddy. He's over. He's over 10 grand already.
That's good. That's good.
So he's gonna say he's laying in bed.
So we the big thing for us, I love that idea, Bill. Actually, I'm going to hit you up about that. Like, I'll get you connected to Stogie and
oh, we got another backer.
Hey, backers. Carrie Ann, lavender wine. Come on.
I'm trying to, but Rune's just look at him.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll.
Look at his annoyed face now. Look at the statement.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor. Look, extra, Victor. I'm going to give you more of that because this stuff is knocking the crap out of me. I love it. If you ever get COVID-19, drink a bottle of peppermint schnapps. It'll blow you up.
Is that like, you know, one of my favorite things is I don't have any is Rumplemints.
Rumplemints. That's what I meant. Rumplemints, not peppermint schnapps.
Oh, look at Rune. Look how sweet.
Look at the state of him. See what I mean?
He's a mommy's boy. Look at him. He's all like
cats of Instagram. Hey, Victor, thank you so much for your pledge. I really appreciate it, man. And I know that you're going to love the book. I hope that you're going to love the book.
It's a great value pledge, too, if you're new to this story.
Oh, Jimmy's
pledged that level.
Jimmy's got a COVID test tomorrow. Look at that.
I got a 7 a.m. COVID test tomorrow. Tonight, enjoying the show. Well, thanks for enjoying, Jimmy. We'd love to get you back on in the future. We enjoy your company, and you have a nice smile.
Jimmy, I don't know who you are, but they seem to like you, so I guess you're okay.
We like Jimmy.
Jimmy Palmiotti.
We love Jimmy.
He's a legend. An absolute legend.
Hey, Niall, I believe it's pronounced legend.
Oh, sorry.
He's a legend.
A legend.
Oh, look at this.
He's a legend.
A legend.
Really?
All right.
Paul, Victor says, Paul, we met in Arizona. You were doing a signing with Humberto Ramos.
All right. Excellent, man. Now, you know, when we first came out with the first Fairy Quest, we did the badge for
Jimmy.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
Oh, Jimmy's got a cat too, right?
Yeah, this is
he's got Devo. He's got a black cat.
Yeah,
that's similar to Paul's cat.
My one doesn't show up. I've got like a stealth cat. If I put him on camera, you can't see him. All he is this like black mass. Because he's evil. And he's a bunny puncher as well, right, Carrie Ann?
No, he is not.
He brings stuff in. So
listen, if you
here's the story of my cat.
He loves me. If you tell him not to punch bunnies, he will stop.
Now, what does that mean? Punch bunnies.
So what's happening is my cat.
What's all that mean? Punching bunnies.
My cat is really friendly. He loves everybody, and he doesn't. So I've got one little black cat that kills everything. She eviscerates it. She's this tiny little cat. And she brings stuff in and just tears it around and then drops blood all over the carpet, right? Claudius, on the other hand, finds animals and always brings them in alive because he wants to play with them. He likes them. He's so friendly. I kid you not, he's so stupid and he's so innocent that he brings in, like, he catches birds all the time. He catches chipmunks a lot. He catches moles especially. He loves moles because they don't move very fast. And he brings them in and he puts them on the ground and then they try to get away from him and he just walks with them like, hey, man, what's the problem? So the other day I hear this squealing downstairs and Claudius has brought in a bunny, right? He's brought in a rabbit and he's hanging with the rabbit and the rabbit's terrified and it's squealing and like standing in the corner and Claude's like, why aren't you playing with me?
Right? Oh my God.
So I know. And so Carrie Ann got really upset because I told Carrie Ann on the phone, like I was sort of talking to her on the phone and I went like, Claudius, just hang on a minute. Claudius brought in a bunny. And I said, he's punching the bunny, keeps chasing the bunny around and like whacking it to play with it. And she said, tell him to stop punching bunnies. And so he's a bunny puncher.
No, what we were talking about, we need to do like a Good Omens thing with Rune and Claudius.
That's right. Look at her cat, right? Her cat's the good cat. And my cat's literally like can't be seen on camera because it fritzes out the camera when my cat's on it.
Rune is very enlightened. Look at him.
I feel like Rune eats the fancy feast out of the crystal dish.
You know, you're not wrong. He does wet food is fancy feast appetizers, and he does have his own plate.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we are. Look at that. Look at the state. We're doing really well on our Kickstarter. We got.
You're almost to 11,000.
I got to do another. Yeah, we're almost at 11,000.
You're $356 away from 11,000.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you guys know, Jimmy knows, and Billy, you know this. It goes like that, and then it levels out, and then it's the climb, right?
Yeah, but what it starts to climb, and then you get,
for a while, Paul.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Billy. Sorry, I was reading Jimmy's thing.
But what's cool is what he's going to do though is when he starts to announce these covers.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to get a spike if you announce another cover every week. You make it an event. Okay, here's Wednesday night's big announcement. Wednesday night's big update.
Yeah.
And then you show with the cover and all. And I think that could, I think that'll spike it too.
I think so.
And shenanigans also.
I say shenanigans.
I said I think there's some planned shenanigans to help boost the signal too.
Especially though, like right now with the whole COVID thing, like everyone's doing these shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to see who's doing it, what would fit best with your book, and try to see if you can get on these shows and promote them to get in front of these audiences to help promote your book. That's huge right now. It's absolutely huge.
Well, I want to give a shout out a little bit for a moment to Brian Polito, who I've known for a long time. And I did have my moment of crisis, not really a crisis, but just like, look, I got to press go on this campaign. Right. And, you know what it's like pressing go, right, Bill?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Press go. Now, here's the funny thing. After all the trepidation that I had about pressing go, I woke up this morning, knew I was doing it at 11 o'clock, and woke up, went, press go. I don't care. I'm not that worried about it because I believe in the work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you have to. Here's what I will say. We have 11 people now working for my company, Meta Studios. And we have all these people that are behind it. We got people doing social media. We got people doing fulfillment. We got people especially helping me to do interaction with the fans, right? So like Stogie and I are going to be directly interacting. If there's ever a problem, Stogie will probably bring it to me and say, hey man, let's address this one, right? I will probably address every issue directly. And if we have any holdovers from someone that didn't get something from a past campaign or something like that, I'm going to meet it head on and just go, look, we'll happily help you out. Like, what can we do? Because you can't really, there's nothing you can do. You don't know what you don't know. Right. Yeah. And so I think you have to be prepared if you're going to be a Kickstarter, if you're going to be somebody who is doing these things and asking people for their money. You have to be very straightforward and honest.
Too much.
Like the smash button.
I'm so curious what lavender wine tastes like.
It's really not great.
I feel like it's just like sweet and it gets you a good buzz and just drink it.
Really, you can't drink too much.
I have better wine in the fridge, but this one I was just like, oh, it's purple and it matches. I'll drink it. But I feel like it's on par with like Arbor Mist.
It's Boone's Farm, basically. It's Boone's Farm.
It's just sugar. It was like $6 and it was purple and the label was pretty, so I bought it.
Yeah, but if you drink that whole bottle, you're gonna get smashed. And then
is it like the Dubra of wine?
Yeah, like oh my god, that sugar is just gonna go right to your head.
Oh yeah, you're
right. Yeah, well.
Isn't it great that we brought a fairy with us? We brought our own fairy.
All right, so Carrie Ann.
So I have to ask. Oh, go ahead, Billy. Go ahead.
I want to ask how Carrie Ann, how you came to fall in love with fairies.
Oh yeah.
With fairy tales, and then lead up to how you became acquainted with Paul.
Okay, well,
muses.
The story. Okay. I guess. Well, my thing with fairies is I was born this way, right?
Nice.
I'm really actually serious about that. I know that sounds goofy, but yeah, I was born this way. I don't remember a time when I didn't feel connected to fairies and fairy tales, and it's also a very spiritual thing for me as well. So it really is part of who I am, wholly and completely in my spiritual life, my personal life, my creative life. It's everything's been inspired by my connection to sort of the fairy realm, and then I've always loved, because of that, fairy tales and fantasy, and as I go along, like learning the origins of them and seeing like different versions of them, and like Jim Henson's Storyteller series is another one I really love, because you get things like Sapphire and Hans my Hedgehog where you can see roots of other stories in them, but they're from different parts of the world and things, which is really cool. So I met Paul at a random actor networking event. This is a funny story. I met Paul. I went to this random actor networking event years ago, and they had this. It was like speed dating, but where actors would meet directors, right? And let's get Carrie Ann Smash support.
That's why TJ is a mod.
Hilarious.
Wait a minute. Let's follow that up with here.
All right. Well, here, let me take a drink, and I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Yeah.
This is great. She's getting
okay.
Getting a good buzz right now.
So there's this like weird speed dating thing at this networking event. And I sat down with Paul, and he looked at my resume. And at the time, I had just done a stage version for those of you who are Neil Gaiman fans. I got to do a stage version of his short story, Snow Glass Apples, which is a retelling of Snow White from the Queen's perspective. And Snow White is kind of, they don't ever call her a vampire, but she's it's not your average Snow White story. That was done. The adaptation was written by Lisa Stock and directed by her as well. And we did it outdoors, and I got to play the Snow White character, and it was really an incredible run. And Neil approved the script, and he sent us a beautiful letter on opening night saying he wished he could be there with us. And Paul saw that on my resume, and he goes, "Oh, da, da, da." And that's how we started talking. And then I don't know what happened, but I saw you again I used to work at a restaurant. I don't have to work at a restaurant anymore. Isn't that great? All the actors in the audience rejoice.
Yeah.
You know, I saw him again, and I remember you tweeting to Neil, and Neil tweeted back, "Tell Carrie," and I said hello.
I think I texted Neil, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Neil, I got a big friend of yours," and so Neil was like, "Oh, cool," and Carrie Ann was like, "You know Neil Gaiman?" I said, "Yeah, I used to be his editor."
Yeah, and I love Neil Gaiman as well. And then we've reconnected over the years. We've been on some panels together. About 2 years ago, I think is when we really reconnected at Terminus, where we were both. Paul, you weren't even supposed to be on that panel. It was a director-actor relationship panel, and somebody dropped out at the last minute, so they put Paul on. And the directors on the panel have Paul and I be the actors for this exercise. So we like ran around the room and like yelled at each other. I threw a book at him. We had a good time doing that. It was really fun. And then Paul's been an incredible mentor to me with my project with Fairy Path Productions. It's called Thorn, and it's an original fairy tale that I wrote that I'm adapting into a series and working on a pilot for right now. And Paul has been invaluable and like having middle of the night conversations with me about how do I do it, how do I make it work.
Carrie Ann's the only person that's stupid enough like me to be awake at 5 o'clock in the morning, like literally 5. I'll go, "You still awake?" She's like, "Yeah," and I said,
still awake? You guys still?
Yeah. Cat, look at my cat just did something stupid, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm still awake. My cat did something stupid."
Yeah, wait to cat pictures and things, but yeah, but in all sincerity, and Paul is an excellent friend and has been a fantastic mentor, and so that's kind of how we got to where we are now. And then I was in a couple of things that he directed recently too.
How was my directing? All right.
Well.
Oh, truth.
Wonderful. Now, the real answer is Paul is one of my favorite directors because he's an actor's director, and you know how to talk to actors, and you're very collaborative. And as an artist and an actor, it's really important that the director and the actor have that give and take, and that you're co-creating a world together. And I think that's something that you understand really well. You know, and you and I just get along really well anyway, so it's fun.
Yeah. And the craziest part is, Billy, and this is the thing, I wasn't going to do comics. I wasn't going to do this stuff. I wasn't even going to do video games. I was going to be an actor, and I studied to be a filmmaker, right? So I was probably going to make films, and I studied to be an actor. And I never really wanted to do it. I wasn't that guy. I found, okay, that's probably not my path, but directing and writing and doing film is. And yeah, as I get older, I find myself as a better actor. It's kind of funny, man. I can do it. I'm one of those actors that's unusual because I can turn it on like that. I don't need a lot of prep. I go boom, and I'm in it, and then I'm out of it. But it's interesting. Like, I love the director-actor relationship, because if you like actors and you actually work with them and you care about them and you collaborate with them, then they've got a lot to do. And so people always make fun of actors, and they're like, "Oh, actors, they're stupid." And it's like, well, why don't you try doing it for a minute?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
'Cause it is not easy.
I
It is
was
a hard life.
Well, I bet you too, and
right.
sorry, Clary.
No, I'm over here. I said it. We're getting the more wine I have, the more woo woo I get. I said we're alchemy. It's like alchemy, right? It's a transformative thing. You're creating the reality and telling the truth inside that reality, and it gets really amazing. But you have to have people that understand that. Otherwise you get a puppet show, and nobody cares about that.
I do have to touch on something. In the short time that I've known Paul, and Carrie Ann, you said it, and for people out there, I mean, she mentioned like the mentoring thing. I'll tell you, Paul is very generous with his advice, and doing things, how to write, how to do stuff. I mean, and he has said it before, he likes doing that. He likes mentoring, younger creators and such like that. And he's not joking. I mean, he does. He's talked to myself and even Blevins, I think it was like last time he was on, I think we were on for like another hour, almost an hour after, just giving advice on things. And I mean, very open. And, there's some really great creators like Billy and Paul that are willing to tell you how to do it and this and that, and are very honest. There's also a lot that don't really want to give you the time of day. But I will say Paul is definitely one of the good ones.
But I want to be fair to those creators, right? Like, it's the same thing about being at a show. Billy and I, when we're at a show, I know where Billy is because people are happy, right? And I think we talked about this one time when I was on. My least favorite person is Lou Ferrigno, the guy who played the Hulk. He's an asshole, right? He's horrible to fans. He's awful. My favorite person is Mr. T because he's so sweet.
You say that though, and I hung out with Lou, and for that day he wasn't bad.
Okay, he must have not been that bad for that day.
Yeah, he was not bad for that day. But I've heard horror stories.
Is that why?
I am talking about repeated times when Lou's not been very pleasant to fans, and I'm like,
he was that Terrificon dude. Were you there that year, Billy? Yeah, you were there that year.
Well, my point is they pay my wages, right?
Yeah,
fans pay my wages, and so the problem is that people are not trained for it. So I'm not trained. No one's trained to deal with fans. But Billy and I are like, hey, I like everybody. Why not? Right? Come on up. I'll talk to you. I don't care. We're both carnival barkers. We're both super pleasant. We both got a lot of stamina. And then we go home and we go back to the hotel and we cry ourselves to sleep on our big pillow, right? Like, I've given all I can give, coach. And then you get up the next day and you do it again. There is nothing more exhausting than being in the public eye at a convention because people will tear you to pieces, right? It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But I feel sometimes, there are plenty of creators that have social anxiety or they're just worried or stuff messed up, right? It's not fair that we look at them and go, you have an obligation. Yeah. Now, I will tell the fans that they have they're lucky, man. Like we kind of have a privilege to do the things that we do. I like that, right? It's nice that we get to do what we do. But have a heart for the creator that's a little bit awkward because they're not trained to do this stuff. It's not their fault that they're not good at it. They're not a very good actor. They're not very good at. Give them a minute, right? Because just let them work it out, right? They're not all me and Bill, right? They're all different.
As long as they're working it out and not being a jerk, it's okay.
But sometimes it comes off as being a jerk because I know so many people. I'm going to call out one person who's actually a super nice guy, which is Adam Hughes, right? He's a really good dude.
Yeah,
he's very friendly. He likes people, but Adam's quite quiet, right? And people take his quiet nature as he's aloof or he doesn't like people. It's nothing. He's one of the funniest people I know. He's super funny on Twitter. He's genius with his comments, right? But he's kind of quiet. So, that's just the way it is, I suppose.
Hey, Paul. If we could go back a bit and Carrie Ann. Paul, do you find, or Carrie Ann, I'll ask you, Carrie Ann, address you. Do you find that Paul, being that he was an actor, this is what his passion was when he was younger, do you feel that helps him understand actors better when direct and to get more out of an actor because he kind of knows what you'd be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's really important for, because, I'm mostly an actor, but I also coach actors and things like that too. And I think that anybody who wants to direct actors or work with actors,
excuse me for 1 second,
should have taken at least an acting class or have some kind of understanding. And some people, I think, Paul is a very intuitive person that connects in easily with other people. So that's an easy bridge. right? Which makes him a good actor and also a good director. But I think studying, there's something to, you know, understanding the language and being able to meet an actor where they are, right?
Yeah.
Because every actor has a slightly different process, or may have come from a different technique, or they've got their own, or whatever it is. But I feel like having that background really is just like an extra bonus in being able to amplify the skills that, like, you know, he naturally has.
Hey, Carrie Ann, you know, you and I can talk. So Carrie Ann and I were just working on a project, and in that thing, I needed Carrie Ann to be annoyed, kind of mildly annoyed in her character with the person interviewing her, which happened to be me off camera. But what I did was I told her, let me show you how this one will go. I'm an annoying reporter from a British tabloid, and I'm pissing you off. You just can't show it because you're professional. Give her that piece. She can live in that moment, and then you do it, right? You go to the very next character, and that particular character was someone suffering from PTSD, Bill, right? So, you know, you're struggling. That's someone that's really been through a lot of stuff. A soldier, someone that, and I talked to the actor, and as I was working with her off camera, she confides in me that her husband has PTSD from his time in the service. So she knows it. She knows the work. She can live that moment, right? And I'm not asking her for anything now. I'm not telling her how to act or what to do. I'm simply asking her, will she be honest enough to bring that out? And she was, and her performance was amazing. But backstage, there's also the director thing, right? And forgive me, Carrie Ann, I do it to you. I do it to everyone.
Oh, God. All right.
At the moment, when she was ready to come on camera, Bill, that particular actor who's doing the PTSD soldier,
right?
Just before she came on, and she and I had a very close personal bond, you know. And I have a best friend who's a triple amputee who got injured badly in Iraq, right? So he's like my little brother, Brian Anderson, Sergeant Brian Anderson. He's the first triple amputee to survive, and he and I have been friends for a number of years. And just before she went on camera, I had him send her a message. So I played her the message from Brian, say, "Hi, I understand you're playing my character today. I just want to wish you luck. Go out there, have fun." And she was so overcome by emotion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I think that's important. I mean, even like it's one of those things where I don't consider that to be manipulative, Paul, really. I think that's a good way to connect. And the thing is that, you know, when you're working with an actor and you have this collaborative relationship, it's important that you're meeting each other in the middle and you're not just telling them what to do, because then you don't get an honest, organic moment out of them. And that's what we pay the big bucks to see, is we pay you to be people be vulnerable and honest at these volatile moments in their life. And you can't get there unless you come through your heart and connect with the other person.
We just did a table read for one of our films, right? We just did one, and we had 12 people on there, and not a single person didn't cry their eyes out the whole time. It was great.
Really incredible. We did. I've been helping to put some table reads together for some of Paul's scripts so that we can hear them out loud, and I've been also joining as an actor as well in them. And the last one we did was just magic. You know, it was everybody brought their heart to the table. Everybody went in 110%, even though we were on Zoom, and it's a gritty, hard script, and we were all just like sobbing our way through it. You know, by the end of it, I remember Paul, you going, "Carrie Ann, are you okay?" Because the character I played was very, you know, it was hard. And at the end, he goes, "Carrie Ann, are you okay?" I went, "No, I'm not okay." You know?
Look at the statement. See our fairy, right? We made her play a prostitute.
Oh, geez.
Fairy prostitute.
Did you get gum? Did you a fairy? Did you have, you know, like, I like yours better. Were you a fairy prostitute or just a gum chewer?
No, it's that poor character. Can I say her name? Do you care?
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Ellie. Her name's Ellie. And she's got a kid she's trying to give a better life to, and trying to work her way through life, you know. And it's with all these other interacting with all these other broken people, and the script is a really deep dive into the hardship of humanity sometimes, and it's a beautiful, difficult script, and I feel, really, I don't know. I was so proud of everybody because I brought in all the actors. So I'm always like, oh, please do a good job. Please do a good job that I know you can do, and then there's pressure on me too. Cause I'm like, oh, well, I'm one of those actors right now too. So we all hope we bring Paul's vision to life.
There was no pressure. There was no pressure because everyone was living the moment. The acting is never, ever, ever acting. Act is only ever being there, right? You just have to be there.
Oh, I know. That's when I coach actors. I'll go, stop acting. Please stop acting.
Stop acting. Just be there. And
go
ahead.
Yeah, no, I just find it funny. Not funny. I find it really interesting how they say actors are fragile, right? But you got to see they have the thickest skin because you are literally, when you go on auditions and things, you're putting your art out there, and you have people that don't have that.
Oh shit! You've got. Sorry to interrupt, but you have 3 more backers.
Hey, hold on.
Right.
Hang on.
I'm gonna drink water.
You're gonna have to get more. You have to drink water. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get back here in a minute.
Oh, she's double fisting. Oh man. So you have but seriously, you have these people that you're defending your creativity. You have to defend your art. The people that don't do what you do.
Maybe.
Acted.
It's an interesting thing. Here's what Carrie Ann's philosophy on being a successful actor is you just can't give a shit about that, right? Like I show up and I do my work, and I hope I do my work to the best of my ability. I give you an honest moment and a real slice of life, right? And then if you like it, you hire me, and that's fantastic. And if you don't, then you get the right person for the role. And if it wasn't mine, I won't get it, and there'll be something else, And I think that's kind of how you have to train yourself to be, but it is hard. Paul knows this. I'm an incredibly sensitive person, right? And I'm very affected by the world around me and everything. But I think when you put it into a perspective of I'm only in control of myself, and I'm going to give everything I have to this moment, to this character, to this project, and hope it flies. And if it doesn't fly, that's okay. Another one will, and it does get hard sometimes, but I think that kind of perspective is helpful.
So you're a fairy, so you will fly.
It's true. Yes. Yes.
And Carrie, let me ask you a question. Like, besides acting though, are there other creative outlets that you pursue?
Yeah. I also write. So like for my project Thorn with Fairy Path, and thank you. I think it's Herrenberg who put that, the link to my website in there for Fairy Path. Thanks for doing that. It's really sweet. And yes, I go to FairyCon. Somebody asked about that, the Baltimore FairyCon. Yes, all the time. That's my family. So I'm with Thorn, my series that is in development. That came from a short story, an original fairy tale that I wrote, and so it's being developed into a pilot now, and hopefully a series. So I'm writing on that. And I have my production partner Russell and I are both kind of co-writing that. But yeah, so I write, and there's a couple other indie projects that I'm a part of that I'm one of the writers on. The Thorn Child, which is what Thorn is based off of, was written wholly by me. And then I produce, I direct, I coach. I kind of do a little bit of everything.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And you don't work in the restaurant anymore, that's for sure.
No,
that's good.
I coach actors of all ages.
Now, are you in the Star Trek stuff at all?
Yeah. Well, Paul. And now back to you.
I'm a huge Trekkie. I came out like 6 years ago. I came out of the Trekkie closet, and I'm like, "Hey, beam me up."
No, they always have because yes, but I famously know nothing about Star Trek, so they always.
She doesn't know anything. She doesn't, which is great because neither do I, which is great. So she got her face in the Star Trek stuff. She played a spy, but we actually put her. Okay, this is great. Carrie Ann, can you find a photo of you as the?
I was like. The sexy version of Cora.
The sexy version. That was really funny. So we put her in. You remember I showed you guys Warped?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Right. So Carrie Ann was in Warped, and she plays like a shape changer, and she's hitting on our command. Our I think it was our pilot or our tactical officer, and he's a brick. Right. So,
the brick. Yeah,
brick. And so Carrie Ann's like in love with the brick, and she's like mercilessly in love with him, and he doesn't give her any attention.
Yeah.
Attention, right?
Just a second, and I'll get it. I'm scrolling through my pictures.
Carrie Ann played the vamp. So I like directing Carrie Ann. She gets it. She knows what to do. It's easy to work. Like that kind of stuff with actors is great. That's someone you got like as a go-to, right? Great. I can go to that place because.
All right, got it.
Can you share screen?
I'm going to share my screen. I'll show you a couple of these pictures. I've got some of you in there too, Paul. They're really funny. Okay, so we're sharing my screen. Screen sharing tips. Thanks for the tips. Okay, so let's see. Oops, let me pick the screen to share. Sharing the screen. Okay, am I doing it? Can you see it?
Yeah. No, you're just sharing you forever. Look at it. Oh, here we go. Here you go.
There we go.
You're sharing it.
There's a couple of these. So there's.
There she is as a vamp.
There's
with our.
Oops! Wait, there we go.
Nice ball.
Paul back there with his girdle.
Hilarious.
You can see right there.
It's my girdle that makes me laugh every time I've got.
That's right. The girdle.
Look at the girdle line. It's great.
There. And then this was my "What's Up, Space Nerds" post to see what would happen if I did that with the internet, right?
How many comments did you get on that one?
Got on Instagram, forget it.
I know, right?
134. Paul wanted me to find the red dress picture.
No, do the red dress because this is when Carrie Ann breaks the internet. It cracked me up. She does it.
Give me a second to scroll through. So I'm going to stop, but it's not that far back because it was in December. So now you guys are just seeing like all my Facebook pictures. Give me.
She knows the moment. There you go. That's us doing Fairy Quest. There you go. That's Fairy Quest.
The Fairy Quest photos. So
show those.
Here's the band.
Yep.
He's the guy on the right. He's awesome. Look at that.
That's Maddie.
Yeah, that's Maddie Ford. Maddie came on and was our like carnival barker to get everybody to come into the forest.
That's right.
This was just this past January?
Yeah, we did it at Pinewood Studios.
There's the setup there, and Jeff Burdett with All About Props helped a lot too, getting some stuff. There we are. Look at how fabulous we are. I was a lost princess. That's why I look half dead. Paul was Paul, and then there's Maddie. I think there's Maddie again. A pretty cool picture of Maddie doing her. There's Scott with his magic mushroom. Isn't that amazing? Oh wait, and then here we go, Paul. Here's a selfie because you know there's got to be a selfie, right? Hold on, there it is. There's me with the wolf.
That's right.
Yeah.
What about the one of me next to it? You might as well show them what I decided I would do.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that one didn't go. Here we go. Yeah, here's the great one of Paul. Yep.
There you go, buddy.
Paul can blame his costume on me because I'm the one who found his costume. And then, oh, come on, scroll. Okay, there we go. There's Christmas pictures. We're almost there to the red dress though, because that was in December. Here it is. All right.
Here's Carrie Ann breaking the internet for her. Oh, I accidentally had the flu. You know.
There it is.
Holy shit! Wow, well done. You look fantastic. You really do. You look beautiful.
Yeah, but what's the story behind this photo though?
Yeah.
She has pneumonia.
Here, it says, I wasn't feeling good, but had to do some last-minute Christmas shopping and found this for next to nothing at Ross. I found that dress for $15.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Nice.
New Year's or something, or Christmas Eve? Or?
I have not worn it anywhere yet. So that dress is just, it's in my closet ready to go for when I have a reason to wear it.
I'm literally toasting the red dress.
Yeah, so let's toast the red dress.
No, it's really, I will be excited to wear it one day.
Fairy Quest 3.
Let's catch up with the photo first. Here we go. First, we got Mandy Summers, one of our favorite moderators who's killing it on her own channel.
Yeah. And I got your book. I got my my book.
Wait, do you mean Billy? Do you mean all of this great stuff from Mandy Summers?
You opened yours up already?
I couldn't resist. I was gonna do a video. I was like, I really am curious because I knew she spent so much time redrawing and redoing everything. And I remember she showed me some previews.
I like this little icon that I can see.
My Wart the Wizard. Look, I can't. I'll dox myself and her. Oh my God.
Mandy is awesome. So bummed about Dragon Con. We were supposed to all hang out and meet up.
Yeah, man, we would have loved to have you down there. We're in Atlanta. That's our thing.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Dragon Con too.
Yeah.
Hello, nurse.
Hello,
nurse.
Hello, nurse.
Who's Miss Fury? Who's that?
Miss Fury?
Oh my God.
What? Do you know Billy Tucci? Jeez Louise.
Miss Fury.
Educate this young lady.
Miss Fury
Oh my! I'm typing angrily right now.
I feel like this has become at some point in nerd conversations we reach the point where we're out of.
Whoa, don't call them nerds.
All I look at is fantasy stuff. So tell me who this person is.
All right, Miss Fury.
Hang on. I got some stuff in here, I think. Okay. Let's start from the beginning.
Oh my God.
Boom.
Well, no, let's not do that one. Let's just do a picture of Miss Fury.
I thought we were going to go through the history.
No, okay, no, we're going to get to that.
10 years later. Oh, okay then.
Okay. So if you look at that, yeah, see that? So who does she look like?
Catwoman.
Right?
Right?
This is Miss Fury. Miss Fury is the very first action hero ever created by a woman that was published.
Cool.
In 1941, 6 months before Wonder Woman.
Wow.
So Catwoman didn't get any sort of cat-like costume with the ears and all until 1947. So basically, she's the original Catwoman, and she ran as a series as a Sundays, and then it was printed in comics by Marvel from 1941 to 1952.
That's amazing. I've always wanted to be Catwoman because she's a cat, right? So now I like her.
Well, Miss Fury is far more badass than
Miss Fury is far more badass.
Yeah, she's got the black bodysuit. She's just it's great. So I have the honor now of bringing Miss Fury back. This is a drawing from 1944.
My.
You know, so she was June Tarpe Mills, who created Miss Fury, was just she was a pioneer. She was a pioneer. She was
awesome,
innovator, a trendsetter. No one knew she was a woman because she went by the name Tarpe Mills, and here she was. There she is. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah,
fearless, progressive, and she created one of the most iconic comic characters of all time. And she's for the most part forgotten, and we're bringing her back. And I'm writing the Miss Fury story, doing some covers. And now in our campaign, in 33 days, I guess, this is Indiegogo, Paul, we're over $86,000 with it.
Billy, you know what we need to do?
Oh my God,
how many times have you and I talked about doing a war story together?
Oh my gosh, you guys would kill it. You guys, oh my God, you guys.
How many times have you and I, because you know where I come from with the military, and I know where you come from with it.
Yeah.
How many times have we talked it? When we get through all of this, you and I can do it this way. That's the way.
One more backer.
Yay, more backer.
No, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. It would be an honor, and it would be a blast to do.
Well, you and I'll probably make you cry the whole time. I mean, you might smudge the pages.
That's what I like to do.
I want to write. So here's what I want to write about.
It's going to make you tear up. When I did Sergeant Rock, the Lost Battalion, when I finished that last page, and I finished drawing it, and then I submitted the script, and it was out of my way, and Debbie came upstairs, and I didn't realize it, and I felt like Jude Law in that Christmas movie with Cameron Diaz. And
yeah.
Oh, and
Did I find the trailer?
Don't find the trailer. It's stupid.
Did I find the
And
trailer?
Debbie's like, "Are you crying?" I'm like, no. And she's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "It's over. It's done.
What?
It's done." And and she's like, "You're crying." I'm like, I don't cry. There's no crying in comics. And I guess I teared up because it meant so much to me, that story.
Yeah.
Like that Flight of the Conchords song where he's like, "I'm not crying, it's just raining on my face."
Do it again, though. Do it again.
Oh, I guess I'm not crying, it's just raining on your face. Yeah.
It's raining on the face, Scala.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah.
Dude, hey, Billy, what is this here? What is this? What is this here?
Dude, that's my house.
What?
Are you like doing say anything? Is there a boom box? Oh no, there we go.
No, that's not the same movie. Oh, that's Cameron Diaz's old boyfriend, right? That's right. And then she dumps him.
Like, no, I can't do it. I'm gonna punch you. Bye.
She punches him twice.
What is?
This
made you cry, bro?
She made it off.
No. When I finished Sergeant Rock the Lost Battalion, I had a tear for a bit.
I love you. Oh, but she loves him, and he's looking at her, and it's so terrible.
We're gonna just let her.
No. She's married to that woman, and she's
what is going on?
Him with he's cheating on his wife with Kate Winslet.
Right, and now they're gonna switch lives.
Yes, they do. They switch houses so Cameron Diaz can go to England for a few weeks, and then Kate Winslet can go to America for a few weeks to Los Angeles.
Right, and then they all fall in love, and everybody's
They
happy.
all fall in love. Look, she's got the
Wait,
heels
don't you think it's
on.
like reversed? Like Cameron Diaz goes to England.
Yeah, isn't that what I said?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yay, pool! Jude Law, come on in."
Yeah.
Hello.
I missed this
Jack
part.
Black, the always affable Jack Black.
He's like, "I didn't order Jack Black, but come
We
on."
need to talk to Blevins. Jack Black was supposed to be on the show.
Yeah, really? Where? Yeah, what? Yeah, but
What happened to that?
I don't know.
Hey,
Ooh.
Paul, take a shot.
Yeah.
To Fairy Quest.
I don't care about this.
Fair
You know
enough.
what? And he's crying. What the hell is he crying for?
Oh, look, we got the shots in nature walking out.
Oh, look. And Jack Black loves her. Look at him. And she's too good for Blackjack. Jack
Yeah,
Black.
look at that. Oh, bro, come
Oh,
on.
look at the romance. Look at that. The clothing. Look at the fashion. Look at that.
Look at this.
The hats. Trains.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that, Niles Calla.
Would you look at that? Look at that fashion.
Yeah.
Look at that hair.
They're all yelling now. Look, everyone's yelling.
Yelling on that
Love.
poster means it.
And
I
of
wonder
course,
how many flags I'm going to get once this processes from all the freaking trailers I've
and one of my heroes, Eli Wallach, is in it, and I have his book
Now
right
she's
here.
over Cameron Diaz's job, and she's
I
yelling.
love this. Christina Lynn goes, I didn't know Jack Black was in a rom-com.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
he was. He was. And he was freaking phenomenal, Christina.
Oh,
I
my
don't-
God, it was great.
Oh, my God. What is this?
What is that?
Look at that. Someone fell through the
Oh,
roof.
that's an ad. What the heck? Wait, what is this?
Getting stuck in your
Yes, it does suck.
Okay.
Mr.
All right.
Hat.
So
So
we'll,
they're selling me a purse and telling me that people won't fall through my roof if I buy it.
classic trailer.
I guess so.
You guys are getting
That's
hungry.
it.
Oh, you got another. Oh, wait, hang on. Check this out, Paul. Check this out. Oh my God! What?
Oh,
Two more
hey.
back.
Oh, come on. We got to get to 11,000. Please, can we just
Come on. Come
Hey,
on.
Paul.
11
Where's that purple wine?
in the refrigerator, but you guys, I haven't had dinner. I've only had so I'm a little hesitant to just turn.
Here's a
No, we'll eat something.
Here's a true
You should
story.
eat something and drink some water.
This morning I ate a little oatmeal, and since that time I've eaten nothing. So I am like having
No,
the best
I
time
was
of my
gonna say Paul and I.
Actually, I didn't eat dinner either, and I drank this much.
It's all good.
I've had what have I had to eat today? Some gluten-free vegan cookie dough.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Do you want to? Okay, I love that we're not doing shit except just jabbering. Do you want to hear this music?
Yeah,
Forever.
Yes.
the music.
It took me forever to do this stuff. Can you? Let's see if I can share screen.
You can do your audio, right? Can you do that in the share screen?
I should be able to do it in audio. We'll find out. Right. If it doesn't play, just say I can't hear a thing, and then we'll just move on. All right?
Hey, what?
All right, here you go. Application window. Let's try it. Let's see if it works.
Oh, here
We
we go.
can.
Can you hear this?
You're sharing audio, right?
I should be sharing
The
audio.
bottom left-hand corner usually are able to share audio.
Yep. Can you not hear it?
Nope.
Nope.
Screw it then. It's a waste of time. Let's never do that again.
It didn't even take too long.
Let's never do that again. I could probably find it. Hang on a minute. I know how to play it to you. Stand by. Keep talk amongst yourselves. I'll work out how to do it.
All right, look it. You are $93 away from 11,000.
Hey.
Hopefully, someone can get us to that point.
Yep.
And if you guys wouldn't mind sharing it on your social media too, that would be great. Even if you've already committed, if you've already pledged, or if you can't pledge, because we get it, not everyone can do it. Just share it. Share the link.
Since we haven't talked about it for a while, do people even know on this show right now what we're talking about? Like what?
I don't know, Paul. So hello everybody. We have here Paul Jenkins and Carrie Ann from Team Fairy, and we're talking. You want to take it away, Niall? We're
talking about Fairy Quest number 3, Over, Under, and Through,
which
the
is
third installment in the Fairy Quest saga, brought to you by Paul Jenkins. with art by none other than the greatest Humberto Ramos, as well as other creators. And I think we should kick this off when we get back into this, and we should definitely play this video.
Play the video. I'm gonna get a snack. And some wine. Oh, I can't hear it though.
I am the big bad wolf, and I am very, very hungry.
Hiya, Mr. Wolf.
So the big bad wolf says, I am the big bad wolf, and I am very, very hungry.
I love that.
Oh, hello. Claudius and I are reading his favorite book. This is Fairy Quest, and we are about
Should
to
we have
read
Mandy
Fairy
join
Quest
us?
1 and Fairy Quest 2 here on Kickstarter, where it all began.
Yes.
And we're also coming out with Fairy Quest 3.
Absolutely.
We would love you guys to be part of our campaign. So we have planned a ton of extras and add-ons, lots of amazing swag that will add to every pledge as we're closing on our funding goals. We can't wait to bring you all kinds of exclusives and incentives that we'll announce if we're lucky enough to hit our stretch goals. And we have some special cover artists lined up. We have Ali Garza, we have Billy Tucci of Sergeant Rock fame, and we have Kevin Eastman, the co-creator of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Fairy Quest 3 is the next chapter in the Fairy Quest saga, which is set in Fablewood, a giant forest where all of the stories live together, but they're divided by genre borders. We originally published the work here in the early days of Kickstarter, and after a long hiatus, I'm really thrilled that we're going to be bringing our book back here. I know you're going to love the new 48-page chapter with a new main cover by Humberto Ramos. And this time we're welcoming the incredible Mike Bowden, as well as our fantabulous friend, Leo Olea, who's going to be doing all of the colors and all of the design and lettering on the book. Since our first Kickstarter, Fairy Quest has been translated into a number of languages. It's been a cool statue. We've seen live action. We've had a bunch of cosplay people come up as our characters. And we've even developed a live action version of it that we performed at Pinewood Studios in Atlanta. All of this comes down to the fans at Kickstarter. We can't do any of this without your help. Fairy Quest exists because of you, and now we're finally able to bring our beautiful book back into print. I'm so grateful that I have the opportunity to finish it here where it all began. So thanks for watching our video, and thanks so much for helping us.
I'm Paul Jenkins. Join me on a quest.
Was that English?
This is going to be, can we do that one again?
Okay. Take 10.
Never gets old.
I was like, it could be, but my English accent is it's from a different region than Paul's.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, tell us, like obviously, you've done the crowdfunding thing with us before. I mean, what is different on this go around? By the way, we also need to take a drink because you had another back.
And I've got more wine. I got wine.
Okay, we're almost there.
I had to tap into my wife's stuff because I ran out.
Carrie Ann, be careful with that purple wine.
Well, I got a granola bar now too. So
Oh, geez. All right. You're not driving anywhere, right? So you're good.
The horses are stabled for the evening. We're not leaving the castle.
So everyone
Niall,
needs to
do that question again because it's been a while since you asked it.
No. So it's been a while since Paul has had a campaign coming up, and what everyone needs to know is that this is truly in Paul's hands. Paul's in full control of this fulfillment and everything. And I think for anyone out there that may have backed something before or whatnot needs to understand that this is fully in Paul's hands. Paul will be distributing this, doing everything, and Paul, I'll let you take it over from there.
Yeah, so I think the one thing that I learned from doing previous campaigns was that you have to keep it yourself. You can't hand it over to other people. I like to trust people. I like to believe the best in people. But I think when it comes to doing a Kickstarter campaign, you really have to make sure that you do the fulfillment. And I have a company, Meta Studios, and myself and the people at Meta Studios are going to be the people that completely run the Kickstarter campaign. We're going to make sure we do all the fulfillment personally. And part of that is because if you don't keep your hands on it, I think it can go awry. And I don't want that to ever happen to my projects, right? You know, like if I'm going to make all of it, why would I hand it over? And I think that's the lesson that I've learned doing Kickstarter, which is be careful if you're going to hand it over. There will be a few people that I'd be willing to hand it to. Say Brian Polito, right? He does some fulfillment for people. I would hand it to Brian because I trust him, right? But you better know that you can trust people. And I think some of the companies that you work with and some of the people that say, I can do your fulfillment, they don't care about your project like you do. And they don't care about your project. The most important thing to understand is they don't care about your project like your fans care about your project. And so when your fans want you to be personally involved and you are removed from it, I feel like you're letting the fans down. And I feel like the last one that I did, I handed it to my publisher. And I feel like I let my fans down a little bit because I didn't personally see the end of it. So I'm never, ever going to do that again.
Well, because you gave trust, you know, and trust was misled.
Yep. But I mean, I don't need to sit there and point fingers. I feel like I just need to own it and just go, okay, well, it's up to me now, right? I will I think one thing that's going to happen with our Kickstarter campaign is that people are going to now have to see what we do. And I think when they see what we do, I'm personally involved in interacting with the fans on every level, right? So I will personally answer problems. I will personally so we reached 10,000 tonight. And one of the things is, you know, we were going to, we'll announce it tomorrow, but I'll tell you right now, the first 100 people that pledged were all people that pledged in the, you know, we give you $5 off kind of early bird special kind of thing. So I'm going to sign all of their books. I'm going to make sure that I do. And if we hit the right numbers and we get to the right pledge goal, even if it's 2,000 backers, I'm going to sign every book. Because I feel like people want to know that they're connected to the person that made it. And so those kind of things are something that we have an obligation to do.
Now Paul, again, now, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Paul, that you're taking over, you're doing all the fulfillment, self-fulfillment. What came to that decision? As you were saying, someone like Brian Polito. Now, Brian, with their Coffin Comics crew, they're actually doing fulfillment for other creators as well.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to do your own fulfillment and not maybe go to a fulfillment company?
Well, this time, right, after having been through a couple of fulfillments where people let us down, I'm never letting anyone touch it for a minute, right? You know, I might talk to Brian about doing it one day. For a minute, let me do it, okay? Let Meta Studios do it. Because I don't want to hand it to anybody right now, not even Brian, right? Just let me take control of our project and make sure that we do it correctly.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
Now, for those out there that aren't familiar with this story, though, Paul, what actually inspired Fairy Quest? I don't know if we've actually ever really gotten into that.
All right. So basically, years ago, I created a world called Fablewood. And the idea behind Fablewood was that it was a world where all the stories that have ever been told live in a giant forest, right? And so the world is divided by genre borders. So you've got like science fiction and fantasy and romance and, you know, horror stories. And right in the middle is where the children's stories live. So my original idea was that there was a guy from the world of detective fiction, and he had lost his job because he hadn't been in print for 100 years. So he decided to skip over the genre border and go to live where the nursery rhymes are because he finds out they're all crime scenes, and he's a detective. So when he gets there, like Humpty Dumpty has been pushed off a wall, and Jack and Jill, like Jack is missing, and Jill is missing, and Jack's unconscious. And when he gets to the town, the mayor is the crooked man, and Tom Thumb is the police chief because he's in everybody's pocket. Right? And so the story, I think I'd said earlier on, like the women are always the strongest in children's stories. So the queens and the witches are basically the mafia, and the Queen of Hearts is like Don Corleone. And he gets given Simple Simon as his detective partner, and everything goes to shit. He basically has to try and work out why someone dropped a house on the Wicked Witch of the East, and there's a war between the queens and the witches. And that's just an all ages view of crime. It's like a crime story that anyone can relate to, right? Mm-hmm. Little kids would go, haha, look at Simple Simon, he's funny. And my kids read Simple Simon and they were like, I love that character, Daddy, he's really funny, right? Grown-ups see it differently. So Fablewood existed, and then Humberto and I talked about doing a project together when we did Spider-Man, and Humberto was having a moment where he wasn't working for Marvel, and he was having that moment where he tried to work out what to do, and I said, let's do that Fairy Quest project. So we did it, and we went through a couple of publishers, and both publishers literally crapped the bed, and we were very frustrated. So we said, let's do it ourselves. And we were one of the first, I think myself and Humberto and Jimmy Palmiotti were pretty much the first mainstream creators to go out on this new platform called Kickstarter and give it a shot. And I've never been so terrified creatively as when I pressed go on my campaign. And it went like this, and then it went level, and I was like, we're not going to hit our number. We're not going to hit our number. And I changed the way that we wrote it. When I began, I was a bit arrogant, I feel. And I said, hey, everyone, we're super comic book creators, and we did Spider-Man, and you should buy our book. And frankly, it was okay, but that's not what crowdfunding's about. And halfway through the campaign, I said, I really need your help.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
And that's I want you to help us make this. We're like, we want to make this book, and we love it, and we hope that you believe in us too. We're going to do the best we can. And then the numbers went like that. And I realized this is all about being authentic and being honest about what you make. And so that's kind of how I've run my campaign since. But Fairy Quest came from that. I mean, and so what we did is we set it inside the world of Fablewood that I'd already created, and we ran one story that ran through it. So that story is mine and Humberto's, but Fablewood is mine, you know?
Fantastic.
There you go.
So I see this. Can we get Carrie and Paul to chug if we reach 11,000?
Yeah, I think I've been chugging anyway, to be quite honest. I feel bad. I mean, I've been going. Do you want to hear this freaking music or not?
Yeah, how can we get it to go through?
Line this thing up so that I can get
you just named the one Carrie Ann's theme because I love it so much.
Carrie Ann's theme. Which one is that?
That's whatever one was playing when we came over to work.
Okay.
Torn.
All right.
Like, what is that? It sounds like Tangerine Dream, and I love it.
All right, stand by. I will play you. That is part of it. Hang on a second. I have to talk amongst yourselves. I have to go find it. Hold on.
Oh no.
I have to go find it. Chill out.
Really funny. Looking all around the room. Oh, it's behind the bookcase.
Behind the bookcase, man.
All
Turn around, Paul. Turn around.
It's fairy music. You don't know. It could be on the ceiling.
That's true.
All right, so I've found it and I've got it. It should be that it is available now. I have to make sure. Okay, it's there. All right, so you guys want to hear it? Let's play the Fairy Quest music that I made so far. Let me share the thing. Fairy Quest. Here we go. Share. All right, you guys see that screen?
No.
Hang on, I'm pulling it up.
What's wrong with you people?
There you go.
You got it? Okay. So here's some of the music. Oh, wait a minute.
Did you share audio?
No, because I didn't share the audio. So hang on a
All
second.
right, so pull that back and then bottom left-hand corner to share
audio. I've got it. I got share audio. Give me a minute, man. I've been drinking peppermint schnapps all night, so I'm plowed. Here we go. You ready? Here's some of the music that we've got for the main Fairy Quest theme.
Oh, there we go.
It's like traveling music, you know? Like
it is. Like I'm a gypsy. I'm like a gypsy right now. Buy my beads.
Let's move forward. Hang on.
I have lots of beads to sell. What is this? There's no flute. There's no flute.
That's a loop, perhaps.
Oh shit! Peter Gilmore's here.
Oh shit! Peter Gilmore. I don't know who he is.
He's an amazing artist from the UK.
Oh, awesome.
Hello,
amazing
Peter.
artist.
All right. So there's that one, and then let me play you the sad bit.
Lee Dinsworth does it makes you want Italian food. Lee, are you Italian? Because that's not Italian music, dude.
It's not Italian music, but well done, right? So here's the sad one. Ready? Here's the sad beat. Can you hear? I don't know if you get this on a different thing. Here you go.
Are you doing this on your keyboard? Yeah.
Anyway, you get that one.
I feel like, you know what that sounds like to me, Paul? It really does. It's about to make me cry. It sounds like, if we had a flashback, we were filming, and we had a flashback of Wolf with his family, right? It's like when I
exactly.
Guess what? Yeah. That's the piece of music for Wolf and his family.
Is it? Because I said Wolf dreams of his family. That's
Wolf
what
dreams of his family. So here's the one that you like. This is.
I would call it Wolf dreams of his family.
So this one is the bit about. This is actually also tied into Wolf's, but I Am Rain. So
is that true? I'm psychic. Keep going.
Here you go. This is the music that you like. This is the fairy music.
I feel like I should be riding a unicorn and picking like cherries from high top trees and wearing flip flops, but like the thong flip flops, not like the Adidas flip flops. And like, yeah, and the cherries are seedless because I hate seeds.
I have cherries.
So that's what I do in my spare time. Sorry, guys.
I love that last piece. Doesn't it kind of remind you of that like Tangerine Dream Legend feel to it? It's that there's a sound, and every time that sound happens, I'm like, that's the magic sound. There's a certain sound in that music that kind of,
Well, I think what's important is that as a writer, like every time, when I wrote the Inhumans, right? Every time that I would do an issue, I would send to my artist an album that I think they should listen to that would be part of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, did we hit 11K? Mario says 11K.
Are we 11K?
Oh, yeah, you are. Oh, holy shit, yeah.
Because nobody wants that, but I'll take it.
Hang on. Here we go.
Ready?
Here we go. Wait, are we chugging our stuff?
Hey, it's 11.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
I'm not chugging. I can't. I'm not a chugger. I'll throw up. So I'm just going to take a nice dainty sip over here of joy.
Here, hang on. My battery backup keeps going off. Hang on one second. You guys keep talking.
Hell out of that. So I'm about like as loud as it gets. I love it. I'm super excited.
This is fun.
Oh, why not? All right, $11,000, Bill. And Bill, how are you doing? Are you working on Tink?
Yeah, I can show it if you want.
Let's see it.
All right. Again, this is the rough. Then I clean it up. So let me make myself bigger.
People always say that, and then it's beautiful, and you're like, oh, it's
not. It's a rough though. I don't know if we can.
Check her out.
I switched her leg.
Yeah.
So I'll send it to you. If you don't like it, you don't like it. We can use
her.
But she's kind of mean, right? So I wanted her to be a little.
She's a little sassafras. She's got some attitude in there.
I gotta fix that hand. It's just a rough. But
really, I knew she'd be perfect for you, man. I knew that was your type of character, man. That's you,
Yeah. Now I gotta add this other leg because I switched her leg because initially her this leg, if you can see this is what I do. This leg was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see.
Was there, but they look weird, the knee. So now I'm changing the nights to figure out where to put this leg.
Yeah.
What if I put it there? But we'll figure it out. It's all right. Yeah.
It's all right, mate.
want to know a fun fact about Tinkerbell? That I thought once I read this about Tinkerbell, I thought it was really kind of charming. They say that in the Peter Pan version of it, they say she's a pixie, and in their world, pixies can only hold on to one feeling at a time. So that's why when she's jealous, she's like murder jealous. You know? I thought that was cool.
I can only hold on to one feeling at this moment, and it's basically drunk.
I hear you. Well, you know, our dog. If you saw our shepherd, we have our Shiloh shepherd.
Yeah, how's Una?
Yeah, she's doing great. Una. Yeah, her name is Una, and she's named after Una. After UNA. She's OONA, like Shirley Chaplin.
Fairy Queen Una.
Yep, yeah, and that's exactly what. So her name, her registration name is Sentinel's Fairy Queen of Zion.
I love her,
and she is Una, our fairy dog, and she's.
Oh my gosh, I have a fairy dog too. Her name is Celeste.
Carrie Ann.
Why do you lock Celeste up?
What? But because she barks. I'll let her out actually because she's been in there for a while. And
Una is the best.
So Billy, I'm so happy to hear that Una was able to get past it, man. Because I know that's like a worry. And when we have these animals, you know, I'll tell you something, man. I've had all kinds of animals. I've had dogs and cats, and I love them. But it's kind of how it is, right?
Yeah.
But my guy Claudius, my cat that you saw, he's the best I ever had, man. He's like my best mate, and he writes. He sits down here, right at my desk. He sits right down here, and he watches me as I write.
Nice.
Really
yeah. Well, Una, we had to have her hind leg, leg amputated. Oh, what a good doggy! Look at that doggy.
That's right. She's not as cooperative as Rune.
Hey, Billy, have you got a picture of Una? So Carrie Ann,
yes, I'm gonna grab
show me a picture of Una, and then I'll
well,
show
Una just had her leg amputated, so
she has cancer. She had osteosarcoma. So, but you know, she's our dog and our family member, so we're gonna do whatever we have to keep her. So, a little over 2 weeks ago, and you got to see her. It's amazing. She's hopping around. You know, she's got to eat a little more, but she's still on the painkillers and stuff, so that messes with her. But she's a spoiled brat. She's our perfect child. So tomorrow, Debbie's taking her to the to the vet, and we got to start chemo for her. Probably 6 months of chemo.
Yeah.
All right. So
she's doing great. I'll grab a picture of her. I'll pop off and let. Hello, Mandy.
We've got Mandy.
Hi. Oh my goodness. Hi.
So Mandy, just so you guys know, Mandy is a great friend of the show. She's been with us from the beginning. Her show is killing it. Her book, Wart the Wizard, has been out in hands. I have my copy here. And we just had to bring her on. She's a huge fan of Paul's. So we had to get her on the show.
Like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm meeting you. Like, what?
She knows all about the Inhumans. She knows all about the origins of, Wolverine origins, your work on Civil War. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She knows your whole thing. I mean, she's been watching the show.
Yes.
And she's one of my best friends, and I had to get her on the show for a little bit.
Oh, Mandy.
Okay, I'm going to hook up for 1 second my camera, and I'm going to grab that picture of Una. So
do it, man. Mandy, ask me difficult math problems. Come on, let's talk. What's up?
Difficult math problems.
42 divided by 3,300 multiplied by pi.
Right, like if a train leaves Glasgow at 42 o'clock.
19.
Wait, what are you even talking about? Let's drink a shot to that. Woo!
Don't ask Barry to give you a math problem. You're going to get nonsense.
Oh, why are you grabbing a plant? But your glass was next to the plant.
Right, maybe it sprung forth from the plant. You don't know.
And look, y'all can tell who made my drink. I have a Paw Patrol cup. So,
what are you drinking tonight, Mandy?
It is just Coke.
Good.
I had a little one bring this out to me a few minutes ago, and I hope it's just Coke. We're gonna hope.
How are the little ones doing, Mandy?
They are enjoying summer, running amok, destroying my house, and we can't go anywhere, so we're stuck inside. So,
Mandy, I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that you're from the South.
I am. How'd you know?
Yeah, South Jersey. She's from South Jersey.
Because for you, house has 2 syllables. Hales. Right, now the British person doing it, so sorry about that. But
no, I'm used to British accents, so we are good. I talk Georgia.
Okay. Yep. All right. I'm from South Carolina originally, so.
Oh, awesome! Near the beach.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. That's where I was.
Oh my gosh, I lived in Columbia for like 1 year. I lived there.
Where are you in Georgia?
Near Athens.
Oh, we're not that far apart.
Really? Oh, are you wearing a fairy costume?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Wait. Are you all in Georgia?
Georgia's a place to be now, don't you know?
Shit, I'm in Connecticut. This is stupid.
Here we go.
What does this even mean?
Yeah,
we have really good pizza.
For me as an actor, Georgia's been way more lucrative than LA was. Honestly. Yeah. So
They're actually, but that is like a true statement, though. Oh, cheers to that! All right, we got a drink, Paul.
I'm drinking for Paul now, I think. No, keep going, Paul.
Paul's the only one with a handle right now.
There you go.
He's not joking either with that bottle. That bottle, that is no joke.
Look how much is left. I've almost killed it.
You need some Rumplements. Rumplements on the rocks. Oh.
My favorite thing in the world I do not have right now is absinthe. That's my favorite thing.
Absinthe? Last time I had absinthe was in New Orleans.
Oh, buddy, I have family in Charleston.
Nice.
Yeah, I had absinthe for the first time in New Orleans. I was working on a project, and I asked.
Where do you have family?
Charleston.
South Carolina?
Yep.
Oh, that's not New Orleans, but.
No, that was comment. Sorry. I assume that everybody can see it. I was like, oh, I'll just respond to things. People are like, what's she talking about?
I was just messing
No, I had absinthe for the first time when I was on a project in New Orleans, and on a day off, I asked the makeup artist who was local to take me to I was like, I want to dance to some fun jazz, and I want some absinthe, but don't take me to a tourist place. And she took me to some great places, and I had some absinthe and went to the Absinthe Museum and got educated.
Peter, I screwed up. Peter, I let her on.
No, I have to. I'll tell you what. If you want to know about like social media marketing, getting your name out there, talk to this girl right here, Mandy. She has blown up.
For you then. Mandy, I have questions for you.
Okay.
You ask me any questions. You like Inhumans, you like all that stuff. I'll send you a bunch of books. Help us get the word out about Fairy Quest.
Yes.
You gotta go on her show.
Yes, you gotta come on with me. My audience will love y'all. Seriously.
We get Paul on your main show. Well, Mandy, I've lost track of you. I do watch all your shows. Mm-hmm. And you haven't been answering my comments, but anyways.
I had 2, haven't I? Did I miss
you have. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
No, but your girls' night, you got to get Carrie Ann on.
Yes.
Girls'
You want
night.
to?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. You're on Twitter, right?
I am. I'm not. I really kind of hate Twitter, so I'm not on there a lot. But I do exist on Twitter. You can find me there.
Okay. Yes, I will DM you, and we'll set it up. You will have so much fun with us.
I will tell you, I'm on Instagram is my favorite.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm on Insta too.
Yeah.
So Charlie's London, all right. Mm-hmm. She's putting out an amazing book, all right. And let me let this clear, okay. So Mandy is part of Comicsgate. She is like the queen of Comicsgate. Aww. She does her stuff, and you know what? Whatever. I don't care anymore, right? Comicsgate has some great creators out there, just as well as independents, whatever you want to do. But Charlie's London is putting out an amazing book on Charlie Chaplin.
Who is it?
She goes by Charlie's London. Okay. So tomorrow at 1 p.m., we have Charlie's London on the show for Lunch Break with Billy. They're going to be talking kind of like, so the theme of that show is really like how do you build your mailing list, your pre-launch mailing list, but it's also to promote her stuff and for Billy to talk about some stuff. But we're going to have Charlie's London on. She does the the comic, Mandy, explain it better. You explain it better. You've got your whole Comicsgate like women's show type thing. Ladies
What am I explaining? Am I explaining what Ladies Night is, or am I explaining Charlie's London's mailing list?
No. Ladies Night. Sorry.
And the feed.
So, yeah, basically, we just find goofy articles, goofy crap to talk about. most of us are usually having a couple of drinks while we do it, and we just go through funny stuff. And then at the end, we always promote books that we're interested in, or that we ourselves are selling, because now all three of the ladies on Ladies Night have books. So we do some promotions for books, and no, it's really fun though. But we just try to bring it's kind of a male dominated thing. So, and people try to act like there aren't girls. Like girls just don't like comics, and no, yes we do, whatever. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we do. It's so much fun though. You will have a blast.
Mandy, I need to tell you a story. So
Okay.
I kind of like, being a British person, I have this like ability to live life on steroids in this country, because I basically open my mouth and people go, I want to give you something, right? Which is really cool.
Like running a Kickstarter.
He has
No.
an accent.
Me, I hear an accent like yours, and I'm like, I want to give you something, because I'm like. So let me tell you this anecdote, right? So I went to go play golf here in Georgia with a couple of mates, and I was late, and they had already gone out to the tee, and I was like, they went like, you got. I said, I need to catch my mates up, right? And the guy looks at me like, where are you from? And I'm like, well, I'm not from around here, but I just need to catch my friends up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, where are they? And he goes, well, you go down by the meal, right? And I go, okay. So I go drive the cart down to try find my guys. And I'm looking for a tent where they're serving a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, what else would you be looking for?
A mill.
Meal.
Oh, meal.
Because he goes, you go down by the meal, and I'm looking for a tent. I'm driving around. I'm like, I can't see it. I thought they had a wedding at the golf course, and I'm looking for this tent. And I come back and I go, mate, I can't find the meal. And he goes, it's down by the meal. Go down by the school. And I'm like, oh, you mean the mill, don't you, mate? And
And he said, how far is it? He said, it's a ways.
It's a ways. Yeah.
On yonder.
So
Yeah, it went down yonder. Yeah.
I've always been intrigued by the South accent, because like all the people in the South to me sound like, that's America, man. That's like totally America, like it's not Northern accents. It's not like New Jersey or New York or anything like that. It's the South. Because in Britain, when I watch television, I was like, that's what Americans sound like you boy.
Well, if you go to like Europe and stuff, and it's like, hey, do an American accent, like, hey man, how you doing? My name's Corey. How are you?
Oh my God, what are you doing over there? How you doing? Yeah.
So when I came to
Then,
America,
but then America's like, hey man, how you doing? Oh, from England, or a slice of pizza, like a bit of a bean or something,
Hey,
and it's like, it's horrible.
Niall, never do that again.
Never do that again.
It's offensive to his ears.
Funny.
I get the same thing from Pete when I tried to do my British accent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's offensive to that.
It is. It's highly offensive.
Not offensive. It's just not.
Well, the only thing I know how to do.
It's not a British accent. No, that's what I was trying to.
Yeah, the only British accent I can do and apparently do well is when I go Taja, because apparently that is Taja. Yeah.
Todja with an
Todja.
There you go.
Todja.
Well, when it's so funny, because when we went to Paris 2 years ago, and my wife can speak French, and I just embarrassed the hell out of her everywhere we went. I'm like, what does "femme la bouche" mean? That man just said that. Just said "femme la bouche." What is "femme la bouche"?
Do shut up.
What does that mean? "Femme la bouche."
It was funny when I was in.
What does your malala PP mean? I don't understand that.
Oh, when I was in high school, I got to perform in the Edinburgh Fringe Festival over in Scotland, and we were in London for a little while, and it was really interesting that nobody thought I was American. I had a newsie try to stop me on the road, and he yelled after me. I walked by him, and he yelled after me in Italian, which is hilarious because I'm like Irish and Scandinavian, right? So he yells at me in Italian. I don't say anything. And he yells at me in French. I turn around and speak enough French, and he starts speaking at me in French. And I said, je parle français un peu, mais je suis américaine. And he goes, oh. And then he starts reading me the Bible and trying to sell me a newspaper.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
You were a mark.
Mandy, do you want to hear my Southern accent?
I do. Let's hear it.
So this is what I hear all the time. because I live in Georgia and I got a British accent. So if I live in Georgia, apparently my hobbies, unfortunately, none of my hobbies are shooting or hollering or marrying my sister. Like I've never done that before.
And
So
you're
I
not
don't.
having any hooch nannies.
Yeah. So what I've learned how to say is, "Where you from, boy? Where you from, boy?"
Is that
If I hear it all the time, people are gonna
Where
be
you're
like,
from, boy? You're not supposed to say
"Hear me
that.
speak?" People hear me speak, and
At
they're
least in the Northeast, you're not supposed to say that.
It's so funny because like I grew up in the South, but I guess like I grew up in metropolitan South. So I didn't grow up with like, you know, people will be like, well, haven't you ever had, you know, all these Southern foods? And I'm like, no, you know, don't you know? Don't everybody say I want this? And you're like, oh.
No, I get reamed all the time because I'm not a fan of grits. Because apparently, if you live in the South, you have to like grits, and you can't. Like, I will eat them, but I have to have cinnamon and sugar on mine. I want them sweet. I don't want, but that is
buttery,
not Southern.
salty grits.
I want butter. I want tons and tons of butter.
See, that's how I'm supposed to eat it, is with the butter and the salt. That is the proper Southern way. They say I ruin it.
Now in New England, we're like, what the fuck is a grit?
Grit.
So-
Is that oatmeal? Like, what is a grit?
Hours of
Like
time and a single grit.
Is that corned beef hash with
It's
3
like
eggs
a
over easy with corn
chunkier-
fries?
chunkier cream of wheat.
Or you get like
I
you
know
like
what it is.
seafood Newburgh, you know, where you've got like where you put like shrimp.
I actually do like grits, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like grits too. I do. But you know, like there's certain foods that I just like. I can't think of one right now because I have too much wine.
Billy's like, are we really almost on for 3 hours right now?
I'm working.
He's like, Tinkerbell's almost done.
Oh no! What's hilarious to me is I think that people in the South like that everyone talks like Scarlett O'Hara. You know,
yes.
that we've got all this. Well, I do declare if you want to come on down, I'll give you. You know, it's like when I watched briefly and then I stopped watching it. Don't murder me. I didn't like House of Cards, but like Kevin Spacey sounded like freaking Scarlett O'Hara, and it was so obnoxious because I was like, what is this put on nonsense?
I think he's dressed like Scarlett O'Hara too on more
It
than one.
probably is. One time I got hired to be
Hang on,
Scarlett.
let me do it. I do declare I'm having the vapors.
Paul.
That's all I got. I can't really actually do it. I just pretend that I might be able to do it, but it sounds as offensive to you, Mandy, as as people's British accents do to me.
No, Paul had to coach. Paul coached me for an entire audition. You spent 2 hours with me doing a British accent.
Because no Americans ever do the O properly. They always go like, "What, Mandy? What was that word you said? Like Todger, right?
Todger, yeah.
Todger is not Targer. It's not Targer. It's Todger.
Told ya.
Todger, like round.
Told ya.
Where's
Told
Blevins?
ya.
Scala?
Where's Blevins? I don't know. He freaking was like, bro, I'm not coming on tonight. I'm like, you're not coming on tonight? And then Frank Amazing, I'm like, bro, you coming on tonight? He's like, I'm not coming on tonight.
Blevins from South Carolina.
Blevins hurt himself today though, so I gave him a free pass. But Frank Amazing, if you're watching, your free pass was never given.
You're in trouble.
All right,
messed up.
Now I'm just hungry because we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. So, by the way, Todger is a word for your John Thomas. It's your undercarriage.
Yeah, it is. It is, and y'all use fanny differently.
That's slightly.
I do have to say though, I spent a week in England and I really enjoyed myself.
I'll tell you what. How about let's see. We'll all be British, and then Paul can be.
We'll all be British.
We'll just go right about it like that.
Oh, that was so.
Excuse me, Paul.
No go.
Do you have some clotted cream for my butter?
Listen, I think it'd be lovely.
Hold on. Excuse me, would you please pass the jelly?
I got some jelly for you. You want marmalade or do you want jelly, boy?
Please pass the jelly.
Listen, if you're going to have marmalade, then you might as well invite Paddington.
No, I don't like Paddington.
So, Billy, I have to ask you this question.
Yeah.
When I've been on this show before, have I told you guys the story of me and my British accent on steroids when I got pulled over for speeding?
Oh.
Never did.
You're going to love this story, right?
Paul's grandpa stories. Like, did I tell you about the time when I got...
Did I tell you about the time I lost a silver dollar down the shore?
So here is a dead true story for your fans. I know you're going to love it. So when I lived in Massachusetts, I used to have a Blues Brothers cop car, like an old Crown Victoria, right?
Oh, nice.
And the great part about it was that it was like 2 tons of metal wrapped around a guy driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm like this British guy, like just driving. And I used to drive all of my soccer mates. We used to drive to all the games together, and my cop car was called Buster, right? So I drive around in this car, and one day me and my mates. So I had these guys, and they used to ask me to take them out drinking because they would say, "Jenks, you're really good at chatting up women because your accent." And I'd be like, "It's nothing to do with an accent, man. It's just like having confidence. Like, calm down." And I used to go out with them, and they would buy me beer every night, and I would drink the beer, and then I would talk to girls for them. And so that was the rule. They would buy me beer. I would talk to the girls, and then I would put them together. It was like a social experiment. You'd watch these guys, and they'd hang out with the girls, and they had nothing to say, and then they'd drift apart after 5 minutes, and they come back and go like, "Oh, that didn't work out. Can you do it again?" Right? So those same guys, one day we're driving to play golf in Vermont, and we're all wearing golf gear. And we drive over this divided highway, and I'm doing 100 miles an hour in my cop car. Right, literally 100, and it's in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. And as I go across the top of a rise, I see a state trooper right in front of me, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I am dead! Like, I am going to get killed." So by the time the state trooper pulls out behind me, I'm doing like 20 miles an hour, right? And I've always said I'm looking under the steering wheel like a little Korean lady. I'm literally like driving like they don't notice me, and of course, by the time they catch up with me. So the cop pulls me over, and I'm like, "I'm dead, man. I'm gonna." Well, this is my story. Okay.
What's happening? I'm eating pistachios. So look at Paul.
The cop pulls me over, and I pull over, and I'm like, "I'm gonna die, right?" And I'm standing there by the side of the road, and the cop gets out, and it's a female cop. It's a female state trooper. What are you doing? You're killing me.
Tormenting people with the camera.
Okay, you got me? Right.
Yeah, there we go.
So it's a female state trooper, and my buddies next to me are like, "Jenks, you should give her the accent." And I'm like, "I'm not giving her the accent, man. She's going to kill me." And I had a bumper sticker on the back of my car, and it said, bad cop, no donut, right? And so the cop gets out, and she pulls up to my car, and she sees the sticker, and I'm like, "She's going to kill me." And instead she laughs, and I'm like, "Well, I might as well give it a shot." So she gets up to the window, and she says, I said, "Hello, officer. What seems to be the problem?" And she said, "Do you have any idea how fast you were going?" And I said, "Yes, 100 kilometers an hour." And she said, "It's miles an hour." And I said, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry, officer. I had no idea. I got the conversion rate wrong." And she said, "License and registration." I give her my license and registration. She goes back to her car. And now my mates next to me are going, "Jenks, you should ask her out. She's cute." And I'm like, "I am not going to ask her out. Like, she'll kill me." I'm literally 50 miles an hour over the speed limit. She comes back 3 minutes later, and she says, "Sir, I'm going to let you off with a warning," because of the British accent. And I went, "Thank you, officer. I'm terribly sorry. I won't drive like that again." And she hands me her license, and then she looks in the window. She looks at all the guys, and she said, "Sir, next time you're late for a golf tee time, don't drive so fast."
So, but you didn't ask her out,
dude. I might be.
Was she cute though? Was she cute?
She was a very nice lady. Yeah.
Oh, you got another backer.
Yay!
Yay.
Pistachios for backers. Yay!
All right.
Here, I'll do it. I'll do it for a backer.
Okay.
Now, Paul, I got a question to ask you.
Go on.
Most people launch their campaigns at night. Usually 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that the West Coast. You launched yours, maybe 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
The way I looked at it was that in the COVID times, I think that people are at home all the time. Why not, right? Like, let people have the day to just look at it, right? They're going to see it, I mean, I think everybody's at home. So why not let everybody have a chance to buy into it? And it gave them a day to get used to it. In one day, I mean, I think what time did we let it go this morning? Like 11 o'clock. So we're about
11:30, yeah.
Yeah, we're about 13 hours in. And in one day, we've had so many people kind of back it that we're about $11,000 now, right?
Yep. 238 backers. You're at $11,022.
Yeah.
in a matter of 12 and a half hours. Not bad at all.
12 and a half hours. And so I think that was not a bad idea because I think people are at home and they really want to be entertained right now. And Kickstarter's really kicking ass and Indiegogo's really kicking ass. And so why not just,
Mandy, I had suggested to Paul when he was done, I was explaining to him, with the differences between Indiegogo and Kickstarter and how that there, that there are people that will only pledge on the certain platforms.
Yes.
So, and I said that's very, very important to try to reach the widest audience possible. So when his campaign ends on Kickstarter, he should definitely come back and we should do the Indiegogo launch.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, you'll make just as much on Indiegogo as you did on Kickstarter. There are so many comic book fans that really have kind of shunned Kickstarter right now. So they are focused on only Indiegogo projects. So there's a whole nother group of audience that you'll get on Indiegogo that you won't. I mean, but same with Kickstarter. There's some that only go there. So I say get it out there on every single platform available to you to put it out there to get more funds, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it, right? Like I love it. I didn't even realize this. I'm sorry that I didn't. I feel like I'm a child that I didn't know these things, but
oh no, you got time. You'll make your goal for sure, and then some on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But then take it Indiegogo, and I'm telling you, you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Peter Gilmore asks, ask Paul where he stands in the Jaffa Coffee cake. Sorry, Jaffa cake question. Cake or biscuit?
It's cake. It's a biscuit. Cake. Biscuit. It's cake.
What kind of question is this?
I don't know. Is it cake
like
or
little
biscuit?
Cakes, and they've got like marmalade jelly on top of them.
What the world is a Jaffa cake?
I'll get you a Jaffa cake. Chill out.
I can't eat them. I'm probably allergic to them.
Yeah, you are. There's chocolate.
Are you vegan?
Gluten.
No, I can't. I'm allergic to gluten and dairy, so I can't have.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I'm gluten free and dairy free.
Can you eat steak?
I do not eat red meat or pork.
But you could though.
I could, but I have not had. I can't remember the last time I had.
Good for you. Good for you.
I don't eat. I can't. I love cows and pigs too much.
I do too. They're very cuddly.
How about deer?
No, I love them. No, I don't. The only meat I'll eat is chicken and turkey and fish.
By the way, Carrie Ann, I hate to tell you this now.
Oh,
this is
Lord,
awful because I know you're angry at my cat for punching rabbits.
Claudius needs to sit down with Auntie Carrie Ann to tell him to stop punching
My
bunnies.
cat punches bunnies because unfortunately I used to catch rabbits when I was a little kid.
I know this about you, and yet
how to do it. You had to do it, and so I think it runs in the family. My cat likes to catch rabbits.
Well, now, did you have to catch rabbits to eat?
Yeah.
So how did you catch them?
No, I don't want to hear how you catch them.
Snared them.
Please.
How would you snare a rabbit?
How you snare them? So rabbits always they got a thing called rabbit runs. Sorry, Karen, it's okay.
Earmuffs.
The fairy's getting corrupted. It's terrible, isn't it?
No.
Mandy's like, I'll snare them.
Ways to make Carrie Ann cry.
No, it won't make you cry because listen. What else? What other choice did I have?
All right, I'll give you a pass because you were a poor little bloke who needed a food.
A poor little bloke. I think Wart could do it. I think Wart the Wizard could do it.
Yes.
I was 7 years old when I
Damn
snared
my
first
green
rabbit.
screen.
And so what you do is rabbits run from nettle bushes, which is like these little bushes that have got poisonous shrubs in them, and they run in the same direction to the field, and then they run a different run back. So you know where the rabbits' runs are because they're always tamped down in one direction. So you can put a snare. They try to stay near trees because they want
to be safe from people like you. Yes.
And so what you do is you put the snare behind a root or a knot of a tree, and they have to jump over it. They have to jump over the knot to get out. And so because they jump, at least it kills them immediately. They don't suffer. They die immediately. And they hit the snare.
And they go to rabbit heaven.
Yeah.
How did it taste? Rabbit good?
Rabbit's like squirrel. It's like
right.
chicken.
It's big gamey, but I'll take it.
Are you from the backwoods of South Carolina over there talking about squirrel?
No, I live in Connecticut. I enjoy pheasant.
Yeah, you
some
gotta
of the finer meats in life.
in the fall. You and Frank Amazing. All
Hey,
right.
why you want to go deer hunting?
I'd
I
love
will have to say the best cut of meat I've ever had. I'm sorry, Carrie, because you're very nice. I hate to say this. Is moose. Moose fillet is the
Moose?
best cut of meat I've ever had in my life.
The weirdest thing I think I've had meat wise is alligator.
Oh my god, I love alligator.
When I was in New Orleans, I had alligator.
I love alligator. Ostrich is just nah.
But
It's
I
like
feel
turkey.
like I don't know. I have a fight with myself every time I eat it. I would be vegan if I felt like I could be sustainably vegan. but-
I tried the vegan life. I did. I tried vegetarian. I tried vegan because I love animals, but I couldn't do it.
Yep.
So my thought is I buy very humane meat.
Yeah.
You know, I don't buy my meat from the grocery store. Unfortunately, like if I want beef, we do pick our cow.
Oh,
And it's sad. Yes, it's sad.
Ah.
But we honor that cow and we
All right.
we use every part of that cow.
That's my dog. You're grumbling.
What was that?
That's my dog. If you hear like weird,
He's hungry. He's like,
Pick up your dog. Pick him up.
I can't pick her up. She's 55 pounds. I
Well, speaking of dogs, can I show
Where's
my dog?
Una?
Yeah,
Una.
where's Una? I wanna
We
see
love
Una.
Una.
So
Yeah,
here's Una.
Poor Mandy's like, what is going on? I don't like me.
Yeah, I'm wanting to see the puppy.
Yeah.
There's
Una. Oh, Una.
Yeah, this was taken. She had her this was taken on Sunday morning. And she had her surgery Monday morning, and she had her left leg removed. This one, but she's doing great. You got to see her; she's doing so great. Look at
Hey,
this.
Bill, do you have a picture of her without
look
her leg?
She is majestic.
Yeah, she really is.
She really is.
Paul,
And
I-
the sweetest girl. I've met Una twice. Sweetest dog in the world.
I show you a picture of Celeste now. Are we showing dogs? Would you like to see a picture of her?
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Here, we'll
You guys want to see my dead dog?
No.
Aw. Well, here, wait.
Before or after?
No. Oh my God, no, Mandy. Please,
Why would you
please.
check it? It's an odd
Mandy.
question. It
All
was
right.
an odd question.
Oh my God,
Here she is.
Mandy,
Okay,
jeez,
it's opening.
what are you doing?
There she is.
Aww.
This is like the Hallmark picture of the two of them together. That this was not intentionally posed, but it looks like I sent them to like a catalog shoot or something. Look at that.
Aw, look at that. You have the best cat in the world, by the way.
Thank you. There we
Like,
go.
I'm not a huge cat person, but if like your cat came to me and was like, "Hey, can I
But,
hang
like-
with you?" I'd be like, "Bro, you're cool. You can hang
Look
with me."
at them though. Like they're so just perfectly like the lights coming in and like she's holding her bone. Like they're my little babies.
Oh my God, if we had a little Photoshop to that, it would be the perfect Instagram photo. Oh my, where's Paul? Paul is going to get his cat. I'm telling you.
I know. No, that's okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. There's Celeste. Here.
Oh wait, hang on. I've got.
on.
Here's some commentary from Billy. Why am I still on this stream right now?
No, I'm gonna try to find a picture of. I'm gonna show the video.
I'm
of
actually
Una
trying to
walking.
find a picture of my dog Bear because he is majestic.
I know.
He was 130 pounds.
Wow.
He was a Newfoundland.
Oh
mix.
yeah. There's-
Yeah, he was a Rottweiler Newfoundland mix. He was absolutely majestic.
Did he drool a lot?
Yeah, actually he did because he had the big jowls.
Mhm.
But what I found out was he was actually from South Carolina. And a veterinary school did work on his eyes. And I think this sucks. The only phone I can get is this one right here. All right, so I'm going to share the screen from my Facebook. This is Bear.
Oh, look at it.
Newfoundland.
So this is a boat. This is a 17-foot boat. Now look at him compared to the boat.
Wow.
Aww.
But mind you, an absolute gentle giant. And he's not to be too morbid, he's over there in a nice little thing. And I haven't been able to get a dog. It's been 2012.
Wow.
I think I had to put him down.
Oh.
That's sad.
Absolute. And that's Gracie right here, my Labrador, English Black Lab. She's 16 years old. Amazing
Wow.
dog. Amazing dog. But yeah, so I'll stop sharing that because now.
All right.
There we go.
I'm going to share a screen too, and I'm going to show you Una. This is a week after surgery.
Well, she's doing phenomenal though.
Yes, she is.
Let's see her, man. Let's see
But
her.
she overworks herself. So let me show it. Hang on. All right. There we go.
Aww.
Play that video.
Show her.
Roll that tape.
Because I rolled that beautiful bean footage.
Ready? So hang on. Here we go.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Oh, you guys want Mexican food?
No.
Look at her.
Oh, what a good
Oh, look at the tripod, man.
She doesn't have her left leg.
Puppin.
She's a tripod.
Yep.
That's the best. That's amazing about animals though, is they can immediately adapt to losing a limb.
Oh, my rings. Sorry.
Like if Kara lost a wing, she'd be like, "Hey, I can at least fly around the room."
Yeah, one big
But
circle.
it would feel natural, you know. Paul, I have to ask, as a huge Trekkie, all the Star Trek stuff you're doing, are you involved with CBS?
No, we haven't been doing anything with CBS. So the stuff that we have done that we were working on was kind of it started life as a fan film, you know, and then they made it a big project, and CBS actually got annoyed with them for doing it because but we are pretty much wrapped up with that stuff now. We're not involved in it that much anymore.
Yeah.
So, we kind of did our part, and we've moved on from that. We have other stuff that we're working on right now, you know. So we're about to go. I just got a phone call today. Carrie Ann will know what this means, but we just got a acknowledgement of funding for a film that we're doing.
Hey.
I know it's that one.
You have to tell me, is that one? That one?
Yeah, it's Bus Stop. Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome.
We'll see. We never know.
That's potentially awesome.
We're working on that project, but for us, I mean, it's more important that we do our own content now. So
yeah,
we've kind of done our time with Star Trek, and we've moved on. So now we're busy working on our stuff. I find that the most value in anything that I do is the stuff that I work on that's mine. And doing other people's stuff usually ends up being complicated or difficult. So I'd much rather work on my own stuff because you can control the content, and it's not about just control, it's just about quality. I always feel that the quality of our stuff alone, when you see something like Fairy Quest or the film that we're going to do, or it always shines through because you don't want another partner, because if you got another partner, someone tells you how to do it. And that becomes, and I know that you said when I was introduced to Mandy tonight, right? Like, Mandy, you really like the Inhumans, right?
Yes.
So back in the day when I did Inhumans, they were in bankruptcy. They were screwed. They were going out of business. And it seems crazy now, but they were so going out of business that they just said, you know that wizardy shit that you do, just go do that because we have no idea how to do it.
Wow.
So they let me do Inhumans. They let me do the Sentry. They let me do Spider-Man. They let me do the Hulk. They let me do all of that stuff and left me alone. They just let me do it by myself. And the moment that they started telling me what to do was when I knew there's no point in keep going with these people anymore. Like, it kind of runs its course, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So for the viewers out there that are researching you and the work you've done, what is Meta Studios bringing?
So Meta is, so it's my company. When we first started, you talked about me being a mentor. You know, I care very much about creators. I started with...
You got another backer.
Yay!
Yay!
Should we do it, Paul? All right. Only me and Paul. Oh, Carrie has her drink. Okay. Mandy, do you have a drink? Water? Anything? Cheers. Here we go.
Yay! Thank you, whoever gave us money. Yay!
All right. So I just want to say we've been on for 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Whoa.
And there's 239 backers.
Yep.
For tonight's cap, can we get to 240 backers?
All right. That's a good idea.
All right. If you're like,
our goal is 240 backers tonight. And I want that 240th backer to be an $80 backer.
I just saw another one go up, so we're good.
Hey.
You're 240?
Yeah, 239.
No. Yeah, no, you've been 239, bro.
So tell us.
We
Tell
want
us
to
about
be
Studios.
240, and we want to bring that'll bring us to 11,100, and I think at that point we're good. We're at 3 hours.
I would tell you, but Niall interrupted me.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Paul. We're sorry.
So Meta is so much more of a movement. You know, I started out with Tundra. I care about creators. We've been mentoring and backing creators my entire career. And so Meta is an acronym, META, right? META stands for Media, Education, Technology, and Advancement. So I do media. I do all kinds of film, television, animation, comic book, video games. Education is something that I've done. I used to teach at Kennesaw State. I care very much about educating people. Why is it that we can't educate people in filmmaking because filmmakers keep it secret? That stuff that you talked about with Carrie Ann about like people see actors a certain way and they see filmmakers a certain way. That's because a few filmmakers keep things secret and they don't tell anybody how to do it and they don't help anybody. The fact is most actors are brilliant and they're really cool and they work really hard and they care very much about their craft. But we're going to watch it because of the really loud one that publicly states, you know, something stupid in Hollywood, right? That's not actors. That's just one actor. So media, education, technology, because I've worked in futurism and I've worked in a lot of new media like augmented and virtual reality storytelling and video game design. And then advancement is all about advancing the creative community. So media, education, technology, and advancement. And that's what Meta Studios was founded on. And so we're going to do it when we get funded, when we bring in full funding for our company or just an individual project. We work with people who need an opportunity. Currently, I work with a lot of foster kids because of my background. You know, I work with children from disadvantaged backgrounds to materially educate them in the way that they are given an opportunity. I want to go, instead of walking down the road to go find the same people that went through film school, I want to go down to East Point and find some kids that need a chance in Atlanta and let them have a chance to be immersed on set and give them something to do. So that's what Meta Studios is all about. And we are kind of a movement. We've got a bunch of people that care about us and we care very much about what we're doing and we're going to build it out. We are working on, I think, 4 projects right now, including Fairy Quest, but we got a film project coming up. So we've actually got 2 film projects coming up. So let's see how it goes. And you guys are about to see Warped because we edited another one. So you guys are about to see the science fiction project. Can I show it again? Last thing.
Yes. Oh my God, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Please.
Shoot.
Let me find
It's
it.
amazing.
You guys talk
Share
among
this.
yourself. I find Warped and we'll leave with that. Okay.
Dude, and not even like the CGI. Like, please, Paul, tell him about the CGI.
So the CGI was done. It's kind of a secret. The guy that did our CGI didn't do our CGI because he has a big gig working on a giant project. And he's not allowed to
Card. Excuse me.
He's not
But
allowed
yes.
to do it. What?
I cough. No,
Did you pick a card? Are you doing a magic trick?
What?
I don't know what you're
pick a card?
Very nice, Carrie Ann. Well done.
She's so clever. It's because she has wings.
Let's see.
That thing you do with little kids where you're like, give yourselves a round of applause.
I do that with my kids.
Yeah, it's funny. All of us with little kids are like,
Uh-huh.
All right. Here
I
you
think
go.
Mandy and I are the only ones with little kids.
I got it.
Yeah, just my kids, they throw something at me.
Yeah, your kids are like, your kids punch you in the face. It's cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, they're adorable.
I coach little kid actors.
You want him? My little guy would be a great actor, actually.
Oh my gosh, freaking! Oh my god, he would be.
Matthew would be great.
Matthew would be insane.
I'm excited. Oh, which episode is this?
This is episode.
Look at the freaking CGI.
Oh, yeah,
on this. It's amazing.
Full screen.
I am full screen.
Here we go.
Is this the first one?
Here we go. Ready? Yeah. This is the one. There's just missing a graphic, but it should be good enough.
Space. It's really, really big.
Can you turn the volume up?
Yeah.
We're fucking lost again, you dope prick. Driver's the only one. Great pilot. Solid pilot. What's being driven around the universe by a fucking tribble?
What a fascinating guy. Okay, what about your job?
I would let him lead the ship over Placket any other day.
Wow, I can't even speak. I'm salivating so hard when thinking about Driver.
All right, look. There's Epsilon Eridani. There's Barnard Star. So where the fuck are we? So that's Vulcan, so we're not there, are we, you hell?
We call Starbase. Placket.
What's going on?
We are lost.
My role. First, clearly to keep everyone in order and task on protocol. To make sure everything is done properly. Oh, yeah, he's all right. He's a big burly bastard, you know. Thick kit, twice as ugly. This is high.
Where's Kara?
Oh no, we're streaming.
Oh no!
I heard you now. I was like, "Who's Kara?" And then I was like, "Oh, he means Carrie Ann." I'm not in this episode. I'm in a different episode.
Where's Carrie
Ann?
I was saying Carrie Ann and then it stopped. It's weird. I was like, "Where's Carrie?"
Knock yourself out, mate. No.
Sweet. Open up a handy beacon to the pen service.
Brock helps me all the time.
Peter Gilmore.
Honestly, I just feel like he really cares for me. He really makes me.
Brocknar was a rescue, actually.
Where's Brick?
On an asteroid with a couple of his siblings. They didn't survive. Yeah. But he's a big boy now, and I think we raised him pretty well.
Yeah, we found him on an island at one point. He was living in a bucket with his two brothers, and he ate them. So that wasn't so much fun for his two brothers. But he's been all right. Good lad.
Brad?
Wyatt.
Yeah, for all possible evidence. Zaxby, navigation.
What?
I want the full report. Position. And you can all refer to me now as First Officer Ragnar. And will someone, anyone, please send me a detailed plan of how we ought to get to Starbase 7.
Is he a Gillian?
Nice, Scala.
What?
No.
Gillian is a real creature from Star Trek.
Totally efficient. Doesn't know what he's doing most of the time. But it keeps morale on the ship up because everyone fucking hates him.
I loved it.
I love it. That's
great.
hilarious.
Oh my god, where can I watch more?
So we're gonna do that. So we haven't released it yet. That's literally a preview. We filmed it on the tail end of doing that Star Trek stuff, and so we figured, why not do the worst crew in Star Trek? So Carrie Ann gets to be. She comes on board, right? And she just like mercilessly flirts with all of the crew, and they're all like, "What is going on?" Like, what? And then she gets to the Brick, and the Brick is a shape changer, and she's had an affair with him in the past, and so she's like desperately in love with the Brick, and she's like, "Call me," to the Brick.
I give him a note. Like I write him a note, and I like leave a note for the
Leave
Brick.
a note for him, like, "Please call me. I'm desperate. I want to hear from you." And the Brick doesn't do shit. So. That's our thing, and it's called Warped, and we're going to be releasing it in a couple of weeks. So,
oh my gosh, I can't wait. That is so awesome. It's so funny, and I can't wait to see Carrie Ann fall in love with the Brick. That is amazing.
she falls to the brick hard. But there's actually my favorite one is the one where we're editing it right now. So basically, the captain, all the captains have always got like a catchphrase. So they go like, "Make it so, number one," or "Warp speed, Mr. Sulu." And so it's the one where the captain's sitting there and he's trying out catchphrases and he's going like, "Cowabunga," right? He's like, do the thing or whatever,
Love it.
But everyone should give money to Fairy Quest because it's wonderful.
Yes.
And you guys have broke 240 backers, so we just had our 240th backer. You're now at $11,096. You have 29 days left, which means you just launched. So you have 29 days left to go. And so many great shows to get on, so many things to do. I mean, you guys are going to get there. Paul, you're going to get there. I mean, you're going to kill this.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you so much for having me on, guys. And Carrie Ann and I were like having fun tonight, so we just decided to drink.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm going to see. Let's see if we can check the backer kit to track it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So we can do. Did it work? Hang on.
Did you get it? Got it, bro? You got it?
Yeah, I can't stand this. Let me just
PC? This PC?
Yeah, I can't fucking stand PCs. I just want to.
Really?
My God.
Hates them. Maybe he hates them. It's got to be a Mac.
Wow. See, I can't.
I'm with you. I only have Apple products.
Thank you. Thank you. Carrie.
No, I love my PCs. What is
Oh my God.
Yeah. See, I can't go to.
right.
No, my phone is Apple.
Air
computer.
high five. My phone is Apple. My computers are PC.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Yes.
Who's got a PC? High five me for PC.
I take my high five.
All right, man. I guess it's just us.
All right, let me
Just
show
us.
And I've got no granola or pistachios.
That's sad.
But I have this rhino.
Share with you.
All right,
What?
well, so what we have here, here we go. This is updated. Okay, so right now you're already 27% of your goal. You guys launched, yesterday, which is now officially. You're on Kickstarter. You get your 235 backers. So you have more backers since then. And this is kind of what they're tracking you. It's just the beginning, but right now you're trending for $54,000.
Okay.
With a high of 121,000. So I think once you start, if you look at how they do this here, these are pretty much if it stays the way it is. But what you've got is that you should start hitting as much people's YouTube shows as possible, and come back on here anytime. And when you start hitting with your new variants, these are all going to spike, and you're going to see your tracking go even higher.
When am I going to be hitting with my new variants?
Well, when you start,
Next week, bro. Next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, you get the first one next
Tomorrow's
week.
Friday, so you got next week.
Yeah, next week you got the Tucci one next week.
Yep.
I'll make sure you got that Tucci variant cover.
I'm about to say I have an idea for you, Paul, but I'll tell you later because it's
right.
yeah.
Let's go do it.
It involves roller coasters.
It's almost 55,000, but you can make this. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go to Indiegogo with it. You bring it over there.
I'm telling you right now, get Humberto, get all these guys, get them all on. Let's get a stream going. Boom, you're gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up.
Have a little fun thing.
Yes, have fun. Have fun. It's all about fun.
I'm gonna hit you up about Indiegogo so you can teach me how to do it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And thank you guys for having us on.
All right. Well, guys, hey, we've done over 3 hours. We have broke 240 backers. You are well over $11,000. Unbelievable. So
Hey,
everyone,
Paul, tomorrow I am going on with Charlie's London on to discuss how to build a pre-launch mailing list.
Yeah.
We're going to be going on at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Do you want me to send you the link and you come on and you could talk about Fairy Quest tomorrow? What's your day?
Yeah, send me the link. I'll do it.
All right. I will.
Oh, you're gonna love Charlie.
Charlie is the best.
Too, so
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you'll love her.
Sounds good.
And she's from she's from
Carrie Ann, you are awesome and
thanks.
more than welcome on the show whenever you want.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
If you're bored, I don't know if you're into pop culture and stuff.
No,
but
I
if you
don't.
wanna come on.
If you want to talk about fairy, when I get some more ducks in a row with my with my fantasy project. We talk about 80s fantasy stuff.
Please do. And Paul, you know you're always welcome whenever you want. We've said this before. You're a regular.
I am a regular.
Only if you bring Kevin Eastman, because I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, but I do have to thank him again. That was an amazing show, and you allowed me one check. There's 2 checks in my life. Ready? One check was Billy Tucci, and the second check was Kevin Eastman, and they're fulfilled. So we're good.
Not Paul Jenkins.
No. Now he can die happy.
Paul Jenkins is beyond a check, my friend.
That's right. Not just a check. All right, guys, I gotta go because I gotta get up early in the morning.
I gotta make.
All right, everyone, have a great night. Mandy, check your DMs. Like I sent you something.
And Mandy, find me on.
Yes, absolutely. We are gonna have a blast. So
Carrie Ann, tell us your stuff, and Mandy too. Share your social media links. All that.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty easy to find on Instagram. I'm just at Carrie Ann Hunt, so you can find me that way. And then I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter, but I don't check it super often. But I need to be on there more, so come follow me on Twitter too.
No, you don't. It's toxic.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
I'm pretty much like Instagram is really where I hang out a lot. You'll see all kinds of things, and then I've got also at Fairy Path Productions. Spell fairy like it's spelled on my thing, FAERIE. But if you find me, you'll also see a link to the Fairy Path social media too.
Awesome.
And
say what? What do you got going on?
So yes, you guys, y'all can find me at Mandy Summers on YouTube. You can find me at Work the Wizard over on Instagram and Twitter. Do not forget to go check out my new book, Super Dead. We got the mailing list up. Yes. Everybody who signs up for the mailing list will be receiving a exclusive trading card, you guys. So yeah, don't forget to do that. Don't forget to go check out Charlie's London's book. Don't forget to go check out Peregrine, Rocket Gal, and Ardana. Those are some amazing books that have just launched. Y'all go check those out, and yeah, come hang out with your girl. On
Andy, do you want to come on tomorrow too? Do you want me to?
Yes, I would love to.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, I gotta come on then.
All right.
If Mandy's gonna be on, I gotta come on.
Right.
I got my Work the Wizard, so thank you.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Your great handwriting and all.
So sloppy.
Can I say one thing? One thing. Mandy, you killed it. You killed it with your work. Yeah. My boys, no joke, no lie. I've got 2 twin boys, and I'll just really quick. I have 2 twin boys. They're going to be 2 years old on August 1st. They came over to my basement. My wife, God bless her soul, let me make my whole basement my studio. So I got my drawing, video, hangout, everything.
Nice.
They came over, grabbed Wart the Wizard, and Carter. I have 2 boys, Bennett and Carter. Carter goes, like. I'm like, what? He's like, like. And he's holding Wart the Wizard, goes, like. And then Bennett, I don't know, Bennett says weird stuff. But Carter's like, like. And Bennett's like, pizza. And anyway, like, they love Wart. Like, they come over to my studio, my broadcast studio, because Wart is over here, because I'm working on a review video for you. And they're like. So awesome. So awesome. So thank you so much. My kids love it, and that was your goal.
Yeah, it was. Yes. I am a huge fan of I like children's literacy. I'm drawing a blank on what I'm trying to say, but I like kids reading. I want kids to read. So
all ages, great book. Mandy even took the time to redraw everything. Amazing. But anyways, everyone have a great night. So many great things. This weekend we are recording an interview with Dan Abnett. It's going to be amazing. We're going to launch it next week. We have so many things lined up for next week. Please stay tuned. Paul, whenever you want to come on, you are a regular. Carrie Ann, you are amazing. We had so much fun with you. So you know what that means? You're a regular. Thanks for joining. Whenever you want to come on, Mandy, you know you are more than welcome. And Mandy, check your DMs. I have something special for you.
I will do that.
Everyone else, have a great night, and we will see you next week for some more exciting adventures in POPXP. Yeah. Billy, my friend.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow. 1 p.m., Charlie's London. Enjoy a lunch break with, Billy Tucci.
And
grab your sandwich, grab your soup, grab your SpaghettiOs. Whatever you got. Have some fun.
Carrie Ann, you have to come on too, so we could see how the wine affected you
Yes.
tomorrow morning.
Yes. All right.
All right, guys.
All right, everyone. Have yourselves a great night. Thank you so much for coming on, and we will see you all next week and tomorrow.